up, and welcome back to the Section 10 Podcast, episode 479, presented by Underdog Fantasy. It is the home of your 37 and 35 third place Boston Red Sox. My name is Jared Carabas, and I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Coley Mick, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Tyler Milliken, and he killed his dog Bullet, and you can't teach that. Bada boom, realest guys in the room. Steve, how you doing?
Ooh, what up, Section 10 in the building?
In the motherfucking building. Presented by Blue Moon.
Suck one.
Produced by Jake Yazzie.
Fuck yeah.
And the Red Sox have taken a series from the New York Yankees. Back-to-back series. Back-to-back catch-up. The two best teams in baseball. They said it couldn't be done. They said it wouldn't be done. They said the Phillies were going to come in here and wipe their ass with the Red Sox. They take 2 out of 3 from them.
Bobby Dahlbeck.
Then you have the Yankees come to town. The only person cheering for Alex Verdugo is Steve. He hits a home run to dead center. They take the 1 game. They start prancing around. They start celebrating. They start bragging. They start celebrating the fact that they already won the series. Well, guess what? They didn't win the series. They didn't win the next game. They didn't win the next night. They didn't win the next night. They didn't win tonight because guess what? The floodgates open. The floodgates open, and here come the ketchup gummies. Here come the ketchup gummies. The ketchup gummies are swimming at Fenway. The ketchup gummies are swimming at Fenway. They open the floodgates. They open them up. They open them up tonight. The Red Sox, they're swiping bags. They're breaking franchise. They're breaking franchise record with the ketchup gummies. And they're coming in. And they're winning the baseball games. And they're scoring the runs. And what do they have tonight? How many hits do they have tonight?
9 runs.
9 runs tonight. How many hits they have tonight? 14? 14 hits. Nice stolen bases. The ketchup gummies. They're like, look at all the stolen bases. The ketchup gummies are trying to look at all the stolen bases. They're opening up the floodgates to the ketchup gummies. And here they come. And here come the ketchup gummies. They're winning the baseball game. And the Boston Red Sox have taken the series 2 games to 3. 2 games to 3. They take games to 3. 2 games to 3.
Definitely not.
And here come these third place Boston Red Sox winning 2 out of 3 against the New York Yankees.
To win the series 2 games to 3.
They win the series 2 games to 3 against the New York Yankees. They got Juan Soto. They got Aaron Judge. He's hitting home runs. Doesn't matter because we got Connor Wong. We got Cedon Rafaela. We got Rafi Devers.
Jankees Lose.
We got Dom Smith doing whatever the fuck that was out of first base.
Zach Kelly.
We got Cutter Crawford punching out 9. Jake. Oh my God. What a series for the Sox.
David Hamilton, Jared.
David Hamilton running wild on the base paths tonight. He's out there doing God knows what. We got obstructions. We got Jaron Duran. Jaron Duran's doing it. We got Rob Refsnyder, dirtiest uniform in the game.
Jankees Lose.
Yeah, they did.
When do they stop tuning their instruments and play the music?
I don't know.
That is the music.
It is the music, isn't it?
Jankees Lose.
Oh, yeah.
Jankees Lose.
What a fucking series. Make no mistake about it. Greg Weissert finishing out that game. That was a fuck you to Alex Verdugo and then some. That was on purpose.
Jankees Lose.
Hey. Yankees lose. Feel good. Feeling good tonight. A lot of people bobbing and weaving in their cars right now. They're not driving off the road because of Tyler. People are
Yankees
happy
look
today.
fucking retired tonight.
Yeah. What's that, Trevino?
Yeah.
Get that arm, but
Bunch of
Trevino.
that
fucking
retired ass arm out of here.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you retired? Oh my
Yeah.
god, this guy stinks.
Trevino looked fucking retired back there tonight. I mean, Jesus.
He seriously looked retired. You can't throw to second?
Yeah.
The hell?
Wow. I'm proud of my guys. Proud of my guy. I mean, this is the first time that I felt this good in a long time. I feel awesome. Ketchup guppies are all over the goddamn place. Yep, they've been swimming at Fenway. The Sunday Sox, man. I tweeted it before the game tonight. I was like, listen, Cutter pitches well against the Yankees. It's the Sunday Sox, but they're game over. It felt like it could have gone either way going into the finale, and to have this be the result, making Trevino look like he was fucking retired out there. It was
207 pop time, baby.
Yeah, you got Stroman on the mound, Steve's buddy,
Thinking up the joint.
Judge hitting that bomb in the first inning. You're like, man, I still don't know what's gonna happen tonight. But the Sox, people are starting to take notice that at the very least, and this is 100% true, and it's been true all year, they play hard. They play hard. They may not always be good. They're not bad. They're not good, but they play hard. And when you play hard against a team like the Yankees that roll in here, and they probably felt pretty good after that first game. Steve?
The Sox, they're not bad, but they're not bad.
They're not bad. They're not bad, but they're not bad.
They're not bad.
They're not bad. And listen, this is going to be 100% positivity pod. We could, have this spiral into a conversation about man, what would the team that plays this hard, what would they look like if they actually invested them in the offseason or something like that? But
Or
I'm
just
going to
healthy. Or just
or
healthy.
if they were healthy, I'm going to give Craig the deadline. If they keep playing this hard, they start taking series against teams this good. All right, Craig, let's see what you can do at the deadline. You're going to supplement this, or you're just going to sit on your dick? I don't know. We're going to see. But we've got some time.
Tyler called it. Tyler called it earlier in the season. They're going to be like, Casas is the addition at the deadline.
Yeah.
We're looking at early July. You're going to get Willier back this upcoming week. You're going to get Chris Martin back. Romy Gonzalez is coming back. I'm not throwing him in the same category, but your next 15 games are against teams under 500. The Red Sox last year in July showed up and went nuts.
We don't want that, though. We want good teams.
Yeah, I really don't. I'm at the point now where I don't really think it matters who they're playing. I think they're going to stay at this pace regardless of who the opponent is.
It's better for them in terms of stacking wins. We've seen some of the ups and downs with this team. The fact that you're playing lesser competition, go out there and stack.
We don't stack
these
wins, though. That's not what we do.
They never
but
stack
they need
wins.
to do that. And if you're talking about getting into this trade deadline, what did Alex Cora come out and say? He goes, hey, look at that scoreboard out there. That's what's going to determine everything for this front office and what they're going to pour into this team. You need them to get a decent margin above 500. Force their fucking hand. Leave them no room. Because if you do that, I think unlike last year, you're going to see Craig Breslow at least offer them some help. Does that mean Kenley will still be here? Probably not, because Liam Hendricks is around the corner. But still, you need to go out and prove it. You've set the stage to do that now when you could have easily been derailed the last two series.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very happy right now. I haven't been this happy in a long time. Watching this baseball team, even after the Phillies series, I wasn't really that. I was actually pissed. They took the series, and I was like, I'm pissed.
Yeah, you were not pleased.
I was not in a good mood for that podcast. I played it off, and I still, I rallied, and we got the Sox ALCS segment out of it. But I'm feeling fucking great right now. I'm feeling like that 6 wild card spot. That's mine. I'm taking it. It is absolutely not going anywhere but Boston. The number 6 seed goes through Boston. I'll tell you that right now.
They're playing 6 seed ball. That's all you can say right now.
6 seed ball.
They're playing 6 seed ball. Jake brought it up to begin with. That's exactly what you wanted this team to do. And specifically tonight, they were playing 6 seed ball. Because if you weren't, you would have lost this game. And then it's like, okay, now you're back to playing 500 ball. They're like, you know what? At least for now, we're going to play playoff baseball. Who knows what comes? I know what you're saying about the opponents, Tyler, but I don't think this team even knows who they're playing every night. I genuinely think they just show up. They're like, we know we're playing an MLB team. Who the hell cares who it is? We're just trying to progress. We're playing somebody, and maybe we win. I think that's how they look at it.
No,
But if you're going to
we're
get
playing
out of
somebody,
being,
we're gonna win.
Playing
That's
somebody
it.
we're gonna win. Yeah.
this
gonna
is your
win.
pathway to get out of being the
We're not
500
always right.
Sox. If you don't want to be the 500 Sox, this is the time to take advantage. If you can't do it here, then it's never going to happen this year.
No, they do want
You
to be the
set the-
500 Sox, but that's okay. Like right now, like it feels good right now to be 2 up.
Yeah.
It
We're
feels
getting
good to be
more
2
up.
over
You need
500.
more.
Keep winning now because it's like fun. Like we're having
Yeah, like
fun.
I want to like give me the Dodgers. I want to play the Dodgers right now. It's like
Yeah.
we got fucking
No-
you know,
no
you
Mookie.
split. Yeah, we split. We
or
split.
Yamamoto. Yeah, I'd love to play the
This
Dodgers
would
right now.
be
They
great.
fucking suck.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
got
you
nobody.
split
The
it.
team blows.
You split against the White Sox and then take 2 out of 3 from the Phillies and the Yankees. Like it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any
Stupidest
sense. But
split
like,
Yeah,
ever,
I-
by the way. That White Sox split, they should have lost the series. So we're not going to get negative here, but I'm more saying that as a
Yeah, I don't get
positive.
negative.
How the hell do
Yeah,
you almost
let's not
lose
jump
3
behind.
out of 4
Yeah.
to the White
Yeah.
Sox and then
Hey,
beat
are you
the
jumping
Phillies
behind right now?
and the Yankees? Not jumping
Don't
behind.
jump-
Dude,
Whoa!
Not
they
jumping
were
jump
so
behind.
embarrassed. They
Don't
were
jump
so
behind.
embarrassed by the White Sox split. They made history tonight just beating the Phillies and Red Sox. JP Long had the stat. First time the Red Sox have ever won back-to-back series against teams who owned MLB's best record entering each series.
They beat
Like
themselves.
you're making fucking history.
Yeah, we
Okay.
are making history. We're playing 6 seed
I-
ball,
I-
and that's what we got to keep doing.
Yes.
It's where I'm kind of aligned with Steve. I wish they were playing more winning teams because I'm worried they're going to start being like, oh, we're better than these fucking losers. And then they start losing to losers like they just did with the White Sox.
Yeah.
I need Casas back before I'm talking like that.
I want to do the whole show on Casas. That's just me.
Yeah,
That's just
well, we're
me.
gonna get there. We're
Okay.
gonna. You're
Not
jumping
jumping
ahead.
ahead. I just
Yeah,
jump
jumping
behind. I'm trying to jump
jumping
ahead.
ahead.
No, I know.
You're just jumping.
I'm
You
gonna
know
jump.
why?
I'm
I
gonna
don't,
jump right
I don't
here.
hate
Yeah.
jumping ahead because ahead was so fucking sick. But we
Head
can
was
for sure
sick
do.
tonight.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even on like the negative, it's not really negative. It's kind of just like it's a conversation topic. It's not really like doom and gloom. It's more just like this happened. We can talk about it. But we got to talk about underdog fantasy real quick. That's what we really have.
Yeah, we do.
Because underdog fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats, strikeouts, total bases, home runs, and so much more. Make entries of all baseball, or you can mix and match across your other.
What was that? Keep going.
Tyler, it was like a competitor about to jump out of your throat. Like you're about to pump up a competitor. You're taking side deals. You have to stop yourself. You have to physically restrain yourself. What the fuck's going on down
Everything's
there?
so wet. I choked.
So,
Hey now.
I mean,
Hey yo.
the thing about Tyler, right, is like you just never know what you're gonna get at any point, any show, any moment. It's just like shit happens. You know,
How far
like,
in are we right now? What's the time, Jake?
11
13
minutes?
minutes.
13. Okay.
It's
Yep.
a record.
That happens at any point.
Could happen. I mean, yeah, it could happen during a read where he's not even talking. Like you don't even have a responsibility. Right now.
You can just mute your mic, but no.
Yeah, like, yeah.
I
No
did.
one
I
was.
tried to
no
mute
one was
afterwards.
talking. Yeah, I mean, that's like when people fart and then they like cough after. Like that's you.
I mistimed it.
Yeah, TSA put all those restrictions 9/12/2001. That's what that was.
Yeah. Fixed
I
it.
was thinking of the head joke as I swallowed water, and there's a family history in my family, unfortunately, where they choke on water because they like it goes down 2 different ways. Like we have 2 ways.
You have
to
a lot of
take
family
mysterious
history.
deaths around you. You have a lot of mysterious deaths. You're gonna end up getting investigated because you talk too much.
I have nothing to say.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
He
a
just
good
tried
idea.
to claim drinking down the wrong pipe is a Milliken move.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
absurd.
It
Yeah,
My
just-
mom has
it-
almost
yeah.
died multiple times
It
from it.
runs
I've
in
seen
our
it.
genes,
Yeah.
guys. We can't
Yeah.
drink water. It just gets stuck.
The old
We just got
Milliken
pipes.
choke. We all got it.
We got
all
rough
got it.
pipes, man. Rough pipes in that family.
Fluid goes down the wrong way.
Yeah. We always be confusing the H2O with the O2. It's just
Ugh.
crazy.
Every day at the Milliken house.
Like, oh no, that's water. You drink the water, you breathe the oxygen. We always get those ones mixed up.
Yep.
I have
It's the
water in my
Milliken way.
lungs.
Yeah.
Continue,
Make entries
Jared.
of all baseball or mix and match across your other favorite sports. You can win up to 100 times your money, and it's a ton of fun. Jake, we close this thing out tonight.
Yeah, should be all set after tonight.
Yeah. What's the spread?
It's
It's 6.5.
half.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I talked about this getting tickets multiple times, and I didn't realize I thought the game was tonight and not Monday. I'm going to be in Arizona tomorrow, so I'm not going to be able to go to the game. I did look up prices to the game, and it was like $2,000 just getting to the door per seat. So I was like, I don't really care that
Are
much.
you going to Arizona because you thought the Suns would be in the finals, and you planned this out?
I booked the whole trip around the Suns, and then next thing you know, they're not even playing. So I was like, I'm not going to not go.
Yeah.
So I'm still going to go, but it's going to be 106. It's going to be miserable. I mean, you talk about worst vacation spots. Arizona in June is right there. And then we're going to Dallas in July to top it off. So
yeah, shout out MLB. Yeah. I think that's the best spot to have the All-Star game in the middle of July. Dallas, Texas.
Yep.
The home run derby should be whoever doesn't die wins the home run derby. Just keep swinging till you pass out. Yeah. If you survive,
whoever
you're the
avoids
winner.
Heat stroke. Well, they're inside. There's a roof there.
I'm saying for our home run derby.
Oh, ours. Oh, okay. Yeah. Tyler is definitely the heavy favorite to
see how you use the word heavy favorite there. I don't like that. I felt like that was a double entendre.
That was unintentional.
Steve,
that
was,
I don't think it was, but I think you thought it was because that stuff's in your head. We don't look at you as heavy anymore because you've trimmed down.
You're a skinny little bitch.
But I will say,
skinny bitch ass.
We now know that you don't know how to drink water. So if you're going to be dehydrated, you're probably going to die.
Yeah. I'm getting used to this fluid. It's very different for me.
Yeah. Make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared, Jared, to get $250 in bonus cash and a special pick on Underdog. That is Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. So can we rewind a little bit? I feel like we can definitely not jump ahead, but we can rewind a little bit. I feel like that's well within the rules here. So here's the deal. Coming into this series, I didn't feel great. You know, it was odd to take a series from the best team in the National League and just be pissed, but I was. And because I think I just didn't feel great about this series against the Yankees. And I kind of want to get your guys' perspective on this first. Also, section10merch.com.
Shout out to the people already wearing it at Fenway.
Yeah, people are wearing the merch at Fenway. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for supporting. Section10merch.com is where you can get all your merch. And there's more coming very soon. Hopefully this week we'll have another drop. Coley?
You're more in top with the merch people than me.
Yeah, I would say maybe this week coming up we'll have another drop. Definitely Baseball is Dead stuff is done. And then there's another batch of Section 10 stuff that's on the way. The next batch of Section 10 stuff, I will say, a lot of classics.
Okay, I was going to say, can we tease that we're doing throwbacks? Okay. Good.
Yeah, so I think what we're gonna do, I threw this idea out. I was like, there are some new ones in the new Section 10 batch, and then there's maybe 3, maybe 4 classics, and we're gonna have the option to buy them individually, or we might do like a classics pack where you can buy the the set for like a discounted rate. So we might do that as well. Section10merch.com. But what I was going to ask you guys was, are you now where I kind of was, where I can't remember what series that was. I know I had it in the notes, but I said something like, oh, fuck, man. Like, I'm starting to like believe, like, I'm starting to like, when I watch the Red Sox, expect them to win. I'm not saying that that's where I am right now. I'm not yet at a point where I'm once again, like tuning in, being like disappointed if they lose or expecting them to win. But I am at a point where it's like they've now proven to me that they can hang. So I'm on the precipice again of getting to a point where I believe they can win and I'm going to be disappointed if they lose. So where are you guys on that scale?
Go.
It's more I expect the offense to not put up 0-1 anymore. That's more what it is. Like that was, to me, the largest problem. We were wasting all the dominant pitching at the beginning of the season. It wouldn't matter because the offense would run out there and put up 1 run, which they did, to be fair, to start off both the Phillies and the Yankees series. They just did that twice. But that's become far less frequent on a game-to-game basis than it was the first month and a half, 2 months of the season. Hamilton hitting 2, and I think you saw a lot of it tonight, not jumping ahead, hands up.
Whoa.
But the speed, just having that speed, especially Raphael at the bottom of the order, Duran and Hamilton, these guys just want to get on base and start creating havoc because, the long ball really hasn't been there for them this year. Devers, I think, drove in his 35th run this year, which for a guy with a OPS scraping 1,000 is absurd. I just more expect the offense to be more consistent on a night-to-night basis, and that's still without 2 of your better hitters in Casas and Willier. So once those guys get back, now I think that's when it's like, okay, now I feel like we can compete on a night-to-night basis with anybody.
I always go for it, Top.
This was the part of the schedule you had to survive. Like, we've been talking about the Phillies and the Yankees for 3 weeks here. Like, looking at them and saying, how are you going to get through? And as the injuries piled up, I think it's massive to see Tyler O'Neill. Like, obviously, it didn't end up playing in this last game, but what he did in the first 2 games, like, seeing that he's made it seemingly on the other side of this knee injury that had been barking. And, he got to the point where he wasn't giving you anything as a player. Like, he was just an automatic out at the plate. You couldn't even say anything at that point. But making it past here for me, I think just shows, hey, we were able to tread water. We had, arguably the most injuries in baseball, top 3 in whatever injured list metric you want to look at, dollars, days on the IL, however you want to frame it. It was just about making it through here to the other side. You made it to the other side. Like, your reinforcements are here. It shouldn't get any worse than this injury-wise, knock on wood, because the way this year has gone, you have found a way to do that. But you have shown your depth was able to keep this team together. Whether you want to talk about David Hamilton, whether you want to talk about Emmanuel Valdez going out there and going nuts, Rob Refsnyder somehow maintaining, like, just continuing to be the consistent professional again and again. It just feels like the entire team, and Jarren Duran said it in his post-game presser, who's like, I don't give a fuck what's going on. And he didn't say fuck, but I don't give a damn.
I was like, when did he say that?
No, but he was like, they're asking him about the trade deadline and stuff. Like, oh, what do you guys think? And he's like, I don't care. We're here to show up. We're going to play. Let them do whatever we do, but we play for each other. That's the mentality you want to see with this group when they're really hitting their stride, when better players are coming along to support this lineup, because you don't need to lean on the likes of David Hamilton to carry you anymore. The real big thumpers in Abreu and Casas should be here within the next 10, 15 days max.
Well, the thing that hit me tonight was that Sox Twitter was fun. It was super enjoyable and putting tweets out there. Obviously, it helps when it's against the Yankees and you get to kind of troll them a little bit. That's always good. But that's the thing, Jared. I know you mentioned it a lot. We're like, oh, the team's boring and like, I'm not feeling it. We keep it honest on here. I respect that you do that. I keep it honest as well. I don't really like talking about a lot of the offseason stuff when we're trying to focus on this team. I think we owe it to our listeners to do that. This is one of the first times all year where I came into Section 10 and was like, oh, the boys are going to be fired up. Like, the boys are going to be fired up tonight. We're going to have fun. And it's not like we just have to cook that up. The team cooked some of it up already. Before, it was like they rarely would do much of anything that put us in a mode of like, oh, we got a lot that we can capitalize on here. Or there's a lot that we really want to discuss. There's so much in this series and just the last couple of series with vibes, just the way that they're approaching the game, the way that they look like they're having fun, that really just has me thinking that the possibilities are different. When I'm checking out the wild card standings every day, which is it's an illness and it's something you probably shouldn't do for this team the last couple of years, this year, whatever. Their logo has been in the same spot consistently. But I feel like the way they played recently, they're like earning their spot in the standings. The Twins can't stop winning, by the way. The Twins, when they lose 3 in a row, the Red Sox lose 3 in a row. When they win 4 in a row, the Sox do something similar. That's been a pain in the ass. Shut up. Like, enough, Twins. Enough of you. I've had enough. It's really when you think about it, it's the Royals that kind of messed this whole thing up, because if they still suck, the Red Sox would have been in playoff position this whole time. But I'm not trying to jump ahead in the standings or anything like that. It just has me excited. Like, the Red Sox are putting themselves in a position where we can follow the standings and not feel like absolute idiots for doing it.
They bought you a summer. They bought you a summer of baseball right now. And you
Isn't that all we asked for, by the way? That's like all we collectively asked for.
And that's what
which is
these
why
6 games
John
were.
Henry's comments were infuriating, being like they expect a championship every year. It's like, no, I just want a watchable team. That's it.
It would be great. After those comments, it would be great if like the fans could just like boot him from his own park. Like, see the fact that he can still go into that suite and say stupid shit like that. Like, you should be banned from your own stadium for saying stuff like that. I mean, all positive tonight. All positive.
All positive.
Tonight. I don't
positive.
don't want to go back to that. I know, all positive. But
all positive.
Dude, this series, obviously not the opener, but didn't matter. I was gonna say didn't matter because the finals, but that was Friday was one of the worst days ever. But then Saturday, Sunday, we got the vibes back, and tonight was a lot of fun. Not jumping ahead.
Yeah, don't jump ahead, dude. Please, for the love of God. Well, I mean, we can start with the series opener, the return of Alex Verdugo. How excited were you, Steve?
I knew you were gonna say that. Can I just be honest about the Verdugo homer?
How loud?
Your tweet pissed me the fuck off, Steve.
Oh, I'm sure it pissed a lot of people off. I'm sure you hated it. I'm sure you guys all hated it.
Yeah,
I'm sure you guys all hated it.
Hey,
some girl said he's not going to sleep with you, dude. Like, I'm like, all right, man, it's not that serious.
How loud did you squeal when that ball went over the wall?
Can I be honest? I laughed when he hit the home run. I laughed because I'm like, that's funny.
Can you do the laugh? Can you what kind of laugh was it?
I'm gonna can I reenact it?
Yeah. Do you want me to play the audio?
Yeah. Play the audio.
Let me play the audio and then we can.
Okay.
Yeah, we can get like a live reenactment.
All right.
Of the home run here. Let me just pull that up. I don't know why, like the fucking internet speed has been super awful.
Yours?
Shocking.
You know what, Tyler? You can shut the fuck up, dude.
Oh,
you know?
wow. That was a quick one.
Yeah, I'm over here trying to find a goddamn video. And I mean, like, I pay $6,000 a month for internet. You think I want to fucking hear that shit like that from you, dude? No.
The shocking was from me, technically.
Whatever, man. Like, yeah, all right. Oh, my fucking internet.
Jared, I can just give you the reaction without the audio.
No, I got the clip,
J-Dog,
all right?
I cut the video. The video's on my Twitter feed.
Oh,
buddy, you tweet
Oh, yeah,
19,000
The only
times.
video from this series from Tyler,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, dude. You tweet so goddamn much. It's insane.
Tyler, I think you set a record for tweets like per day. It is. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. All right, Steve, you ready?
I'm ready.
And he only tweets about one thing.
I know,
which is
I know.
the funniest part.
The thing that sometimes is not the tweet.
Steve, get into character.
All right.
Yeah, my
Yeah, be Steve and action.
All right. What would Steve?
Fly ball in deep center. Going back Raffaello on the track. He's turning. See ya! Over the big wall in center field. A 2-run shot.
Oh
and the
my
Yankees
God,
lead 2-0.
Oh, they're going to hate that. This is me tweeting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got some thoughts on that situation, I guess. Here's what I mean. I'm not all right, Steve. Before you get all defensive,
I'm trying not to because I already know
you're about to jump down my throat to defend your boy here. I'm not an Alex Verdugo hater. I didn't love him. I didn't hate him. I was just like, all right, he's here. I don't like how he's acting like we did him wrong. I feel like, it's a good feeling to hit a home run off the team that traded you. So I get it. Do your little dance around the bases and all that. But don't act like we did you wrong. Like we didn't. You're not here anymore because of you. The fans don't particularly care for you anymore because of things that you did and said. So I think it's kind of like a two-way street. Huh?
And he's also on the Yankees. That doesn't.
And he's
help.
on the Yankees, but even if he wasn't, like the way
if
that
he did this
ended,
with the Royals, it's a lot different.
No,
We put him on the Yankees. Like he didn't sign with them. You know what I mean?
He's getting Yankee boos like this was his decision to go to the Yankees, but that's a separate thing.
But to him, that must feel even more like disrespectful.
I think he likes it.
You weren't even scared of me.
Super disrespectful.
Like you don't even fear me. You're putting me on your rival. When we all this stuff is going to go into it. You're not even worried I'm going to hurt you in a game or something like that.
That's why it's got to feel good. And it's like you have every right to get excited about that home run and be like, fuck you. You traded me. And the disrespect, like you traded me to like your greatest rival. And now I'm shoving it up your ass at this home run at dead center. So like I get it from both sides. But don't act like we did you wrong. Like you would still be here if you acted differently and played harder. That's all.
The Doogie stuff is obviously we've talked a lot about it. I think for this series specifically, when he was coming into Fenway as a member of the Yankees for the first time. By the way, everybody, great job clapping your cheeks for Verdugo's first at bat.
Throwing
That was
that ass.
people
Throwing
were
that
twerking
ass.
like crazy. It was wild,
Yeah.
especially after a rain delay. That
Wet cheeks.
that home run,
Yeah, what cheeks?
it was just funny to me because it's like obviously all he was trying to do was hit a homer. Alex Verdugo never hit those home runs at Fenway Park.
No.
He never went
No.
dead center like that.
One.
Second time he's
Exactly
ever done
one.
it.
All right, second time ever,
Yeah.
but like the fact that it was the first pitch he sees with a member of the Yankees at Fenway, all he's trying to do there is hit a home run. Like literally, that's all he's trying to do. He gets a heater, he hits it out, and he has his moment rounding the bases. I agree with you, Jay. I feel like everyone just assumes I just defend Doogie regardless of anything. I'm not saying he handled this perfectly. Like some of the comments, I'm like, dude, okay, like we get it. You're upset. You're okay to be upset. But obviously part of this is he made his own bed. I just always thought that people went too far the other way with Verdugo, where it's like a lot of you guys loved Alex Verdugo. And I saw a stat by our guy Brooksgate that said the Red Sox player with the most walk-offs since 2010 is Alex Verdugo. Like this guy had huge moments. And I feel like we just immediately, because he got benched a few times and like Cora called him out, we're like, all right, you suck, get out of here. And Tyler, I know the counting the days. Trust me, I get it. We've talked about it. We've talked about it with Alex Verdugo. I just think coming into this series, that's all he wanted to do was hit a homer. If you could have told him like, hey, you guys lose the series, but you still hit a bomb to center in your first pitch, I think he takes that like in a...
That's part of the problem.
know.
This series was the
I know it
perfect
is. I know it is.
representation of Verdugo. Like he did this against the Dodgers as well. Like homers in the first game, does the whole thing. You know,
He
this
does
is
the
my
thing.
house.
Yep.
That's his whole, boom, whatever. But as usual, the player you dream on, that Verdugo in game one, it just never follows for a prolonged stretch. You never get it over the course of 162. In this game, you got it in the first game, and then he goes 1 for 9 in the other two, has a tough moment in right field on that Connor Wong triple. It's just, I think where people get frustrated with Alex Verdugo, because you're right. I think a lot of the people that flipped on him, it came when Cora said, hey, this was my worst day ever as a manager, all this playing
If he doesn't
out.
say that, it's a different story. If he doesn't publicly say
It
that,
is,
I don't think people
but
look at him like this.
The fact that you push Alex Cora, the ultimate player manager, to get to that point, and it was at a point in the season where really everything was on the line, the team was in a tough place because they weren't happy about the trade deadline, and you didn't show up after you spent an entire fucking spring training saying, I want to be a leader, I want to be extended, all these things. It was year after year where we made excuses for him. All of us Red Sox fans who ever showed support for Verdugo, a majority of them. I'm not saying you, Coley, but where we continued to say again and again, hey, there's a different gear there for him. There's something he's going to tap into. There's something he's going to reach. And he disappointed you over and over and over again. It's nice that he showed up in big moments with walk-offs, but guess what those walk-offs means in years where nothing really happened outside of
Well, then
2021?
nothing matters. I think that's why I get back. Like nothing matters if we're gonna count it like that, right? Like nothing
I think that's
positive
what it
mattered
is.
in the last
We're all
5
gonna
years.
die,
If
yeah.
that's how we're gonna look at it, I think
it did.
with Verdugo,
but I
I
think
look
when-
at it as like he gave us some moments when we had nothing to be excited about, and he was like a guy that was huge on that 21 team when we actually had something to be excited about. He consistently was somebody that we could at least get a little pumped about. Tyler, you're not wrong that you always wanted more, a little more out of Alex Verdugo. I get it. But at the same time, I feel like he came into kind of an impossible situation with the Mookie trade. And, the longer his tenure went here, of course, the attitude stuff continued to creep back in. I'm not excusing that. I'm not making excuses for that. It's just, I'm trying to defend the people that I thought went too far the other way. That's it. Like, I'm
It's a
not
balance.
clearing them of all wrongdoing. That's not what I'm doing.
I think for me, the big moments get kind of overshadowed a bit in all those walk-offs when inarguably the biggest moments of the seasons in the second half, he wasn't there. And it was
Most
all right,
people-
this is
the
the
team
time when
wasn't
you're
that
supposed to
good,
show
though.
up.
Didn't the team suck? Like, who was really good in the second half of the Red Sox last year? I mean, JT was great all year.
But if you're going to step up and kind of be this leader, and even Justin Turner, as he was dealing with that heel injury, he kind of really slowed down and wasn't able to do it.
Yeah.
But Verdugo was one of those guys. It's like, all right, step up. You want to be that guy? This is the time for you to shine. And it wasn't just last year. It was year after year. We saw the player you could be when you were crying about not making the All-Star team. What happened after that?
He should have made the All-Star team. That's the thing that sucks about last year is he probably should have made the All-Star team. He doesn't. And obviously he was pissed off about it. And I think if you got him candidly, he would say that Julio Rodriguez shouldn't have made it, but he did because he was on the Mariners. Julio obviously blows up in the second half, and it looks like it was a better pick than it really was. But yeah, I think that's it. My biggest thing with Verdugo remains the same. It's that, I thought he got too much shit when he left. I knew people would hate that tweet. It's all good. I don't just like tweet stuff to piss people off. It's just how I feel about it. And I think a lot of his doing the, I'm the man, all that stuff was like you said, Jared, because you traded me to your rival and you thought I was going to do like absolutely nothing about that. Like, obviously I'm going to be pissed off about it. I think he was carrying a lot of that with him.
That's why I didn't.
It's objectively funny.
Yeah.
That's
why I laughed when he's around the base. I'm like, well, this is going to be, so many people are going to hate this. Like, it's not like I like a Yankee coming to Fenway and hitting a homer. Like, I don't like this. I'm more just like, this situation is kind of funny. Cora's got to be sitting there like, this motherfucker. I would love to get his reaction. I don't think they should have put the camera on him, by the way. That's kind of a miss. But I would have liked his kind of reaction about it. That he knew that he was going to do something. He probably did know.
No, I think he knew, like, this is the best case scenario. First inning home run, he's going to be nothing the rest of the series. That worked out for everybody. That's exactly what happened.
Really did work. It worked out for us. Worked out for him. Like, he got his, shut everybody up. 4 RBIs in the first game? And then, now you get 1 for 9 the rest of the way. But it was, the fact that he hit a homer on the first pitch is just, it's hilarious. There's no other way to look at it.
It's laugh out loud funny, and it's bad on everyone involved in the pitch. Bello, who was catching? Was it Wong?
I think so, yeah.
And who called it? Bailey? Like, he's swinging out of his fucking shoes on that pitch. Why are you throwing him a strike? No matter where that pitch, it could have hit him in the head. He would have been strike one because he would have swung at it. He was always swinging at that pitch as hard as he possibly could. That was an insane decision by the Red Sox to throw him anything that was even remotely hittable. What pissed me off about Verdugo, specifically coming into this game, it was very, and this is going to piss people off, Kyrie Irving-ish, where he's talking out of both sides of his mouth. When Castillo talked to him a couple weeks ago in New York, he was big bad Alex Verdugo talking all this shit. Then coming into the series, very cordial, very, I miss it here, miss the guys, da-da-da-da. And then he hits that home run and he goes right back to the guy he was 2 weeks ago. That's what I think people can't stand. He was always two different people. He was first half Verdugo, who was an all-star last year, and then he was this fucking worst player on the team second half last year. And credit to you, Steve, the second the Mookie trade went through, you said, I'm just going to be a Verdugo guy.
That is true.
Because everyone else is going to fucking hate him. And you were. And there were points you look correct. I also think the MLB completely changed the extra inning rule because of him specifically. Part of the reason he got all those walk-offs, he went into those situations swinging out of his shoes every single time. The second they added the ghost runner, he started swinging for contact because a home run was no longer necessary.
Yeah, the Alex Verdugo fan club was born out of frustration, out of being furious with the team and hating all of that. And then it was a guy that, a lot of us rallied around like, all right, nice. We got this guy that we can like, that brings personality that very few players on the Red Sox in the last 5 or 6 years have. Even currently, I mean, the young guys have a lot of flair. I don't know if they necessarily have a ton of personality. We're obviously going to get to Casas, not jumping ahead. But yeah, that whole situation this weekend, I think it was hilarious. Jared, I gotta say, Jonathan, I don't know if you're going to get to this, but Papelbon, I don't think that's
I don't think that's him.
What?
I don't think that's actually him sending those tweets.
I think it is.
Oh,
you think someone that's definitely him. He replied to Jared saying, I'm just waiting for Verdugo to get drilled in the ribs in his next at-bat after that stint in his last at-bat. Look at
that doesn't sound like
that's
him.
Not him. He would never say something like that. No, Papelbon was on a tirade on Twitter all weekend, and it was kind of hilarious. Yeah. But I saw that and was just like, nah, no one's gonna. Who in this team is gonna plunk anybody? I don't think anyone's plunking Verdugo in that situation.
It's just a different game today than it was even 10 years ago. Like when Papelbon, do I doubt that Papelbon would have done it? Yeah, he probably would have, or he would have went to someone because it's like, all right, if Papelbon's in the game. If I'm in the game, that means we got to win. And I have a very small window here. It's either we're up 1 or 3 runs here. So I'm not going to drill him, but I'm going to go over to some other dude that's pitching the 6th or the 7th that throws 95. I'm going to tell this asshole to do it. And he's going to do it because I'm the captain of the bullpen. You got to listen to me. So yeah, maybe 10 years ago that happens, that you light up Verdugo. I think the Red Sox being in 3rd place and a 500 team changes things. I think the era in which we play baseball now changes things. And I never I used to fancy myself someone that did enjoy. I'm not saying I don't enjoy when there is a batter intentionally thrown at. I obviously don't want anyone thrown at in the head or whatever. I don't want anyone to get hurt. But there is that that suspense and the drama and the action that happens when that goes down. That specific situation with Verdugo, did I want it to happen? No. Would it have been exciting if someone like did it? Like, yeah. I mean, I would have been like, ooh, okay. What's going to happen next?
You want to watch a Bello fight? Like, please don't.
That's what I'm saying. You guys would have been furious if Bello threw at him. Absolutely furious if he threw at him.
The funny thing is, it took me seeing that tweet to remember that you like can throw at a guy. Like, I haven't seen us do that in so long that I'm like, oh, right.
Oh, yeah, just fucking hit him. Yeah, just fucking hit him with the
you
ball.
can
Why
like
didn't we think of
intentionally
that?
hit a guy. That like used to be part of the game. Like, it took me seeing that to like remember that would even be possible.
You saw the
Pedro's-
gap.
it was-
It was like Will said the same thing. Middlebrooks, like you see the kind of eras of baseball where they're immediately like, dude, we're throwing at them immediately. Now these players like Verdugo was talking with Devers and like Emmanuel Valdez, Tyler O'Neill, like all these guys. They were showing it in between like the commercial breaks. He was catching up with his former teammates. It was never a teammate problem. It was a problem with Alex Cora.
That was another thing too that I think a lot
That's
of the
not
guys
true.
in the team.
That's not true. That's not
Anaheim.
true, by the way.
Oh,
That's not true.
I'm sure there's some guys
Now-
that did not like Verdugo.
Of
but
course,
I don't think
yeah.
it was like majority of the team.
Yeah, I don't think it was majority, but like, yeah, they were definitely when he first got there in 2020. Like, I definitely heard from people being like, "This dude's an idiot."
But it seems like for the most part, like even I think Kenley Jansen said it. He was like, dude, this kid could be a Hall of Famer.
There's like a difference between like he's a dickhead and he's just an idiot. This guy's retired. This is like
fucking poop for brains.
Yeah.
This guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
you think it would be attitude
Tyler,
related. This guy's a moron. Like
the teammate thing, definitely not true.
no, it's not fully true across the board. I'm sure there's some guys that really did like him, but yeah, I can't think it's 100%.
I think it might be fair to say the only thing Cora and Heim were aligned with is they fucking hated Alex Verdugo.
Yeah. They probably high-fived
couldn't
over
wait
that.
to
They were
get
like,
rid of
wow,
that
this guy
guy."
really sucks, huh? And he's stupid too. Yeah.
It's like we don't like each other at all, but at least we can agree this guy fucking stinks.
I gotta say, just in like peacemaker form here for like all fans, I think both sides are pumped. I do. I think like Yankee fans really like him. I think they've embraced him. I think he fits in there well.
They
And I
love
think
him.
Sox fans
They
and the
love him.
Sox are pumped he's not here. So I don't know. I kind of think it's a win-win for everybody.
But Sox fans are all
It's-
sitting there saying, "Wait for the second half to roll around," and that's probably not even going to come to fruition because it's a contract year. If he had years left, then yeah, maybe you could say, "Yeah, wait for the
And-
second half for Verdugo." But
that's motivation to him to wait for the second half. Like, and the Yankee thing, all that other stuff is going to be motivation for him. Prove out. I think proving Cora wrong is like his top thing. He can say they're on good. They're not. There's no way they're on good terms.
Well, that's why I hate the overblown stuff. Like, I don't think any of that's overblown. I thought that was Verdugo being a good soldier. I
I
just
think they
trying to be
both
like,
have,
hey.
right? Because Cora said like, I think it was. They both said it was overblown. I think in separate interviews, but
Verdugo
they
was,
both obviously don't like each other.
Yeah, Verdugo was taking so many shots right when he got dealt. He was like Aaron
That
Boone.
was-
That's a guy who rides for his man or for his players. He's not
Yeah.
that kind of guy. It's like, dude, Cora rode for you so many times, and then he finally snapped when you didn't fucking show up at the most important part of the year. That's when he snapped.
And like also, I saw people posting it today. Verdugo would have our lowest OPS, WOBA, all that for any of our outfield. Like if you've played outfield for the Red Sox this year, you've been better at offense than Alex Verdugo. Also, what's funny, and today, Jason Dominguez got ruled out, got put on the IL. They've been blocking a much better player just by having Alex Verdugo on the team. Like the Yankees accepting that trade and like actively wanting Alex Verdugo since at least last trade deadline just shows like why you should never take this team all that seriously.
$250 for one, you can get one that probably does it for the room.
All right. Hey, Jerry.
hey, yeah, this should be. Did that save my other one, Jake, or do I need to open up a box to save that?
No, that should
Good
be
upload.
still uploading right now.
All right. I
Hey,
think.
you join the same link, you should be fine.
All right. Do we want to anything more on Verdugo?
No, just the game in general. I don't know what else there is other than talk about Bello. And the worst thing to happen to people with this start is that the Celtics lost on Friday, which meant I wanted to look at nothing but Brian Bayo's Baseball Savant page because I need to figure out what's going on here. And I have a suggestion. I don't know if it's going to fix anything. I tweeted about it a little bit. Last year, he threw his four-seamer 20.6% of the time. This year, he's thrown it 0 times. And I know that's been a point of emphasis. Pitching at its core, Jared, Tyler, Steve, Jake, is about deception. Brian Bello hasn't deceived fucking anybody this year, not a soul. And I do believe it's because he no longer throws the fastball at all. Hitters can kind of just sit and wait for one of 3 off-speed pitches. The sinker, of course, is fast. The slider's been okay, even though it's kind of been his worst pitch 2 years in a row. Then the changeup, like that's what bothers me the most. The sinker and changeup are still acting the same from last year to this year. They're acting the same. They're hitting the same. His arm slot's not exactly the same every time. That's been the biggest difference. And where he's releasing hasn't been exactly the same. But the spin rate on both of them still elite compared to the rest of the league. Last year's changeup had a 9-run value. This year it's a -2. Last year his sinker had a 7-run value. This year it's a -8. They've both gone from plus pitches to negative pitches. Now, his fastball last year was his worst pitch. His cutter was technically his worst pitch. I think he threw it 40 fucking times, so that doesn't
also
count.
scrap that completely as well.
Yeah, I think he threw it like 40 total times, and they were like,
weapon.
get this thing the fuck out of here. Like, we're done with this. And his four-seamer last year had an X slug of 559, which was the highest of all 3 of his primary pitches. And as Stats has pointed out, that was more of a location issue than an actual pitch issue. When he was throwing it bottom half of the zone, guys were teeing off of it. When he was keeping it tit high, people weren't doing shit with it. So yeah, 21% of the time was way too often to be using that four-seamer when it wasn't like a blow-by 99-mile-per-hour fastball. Not using it at all, I think batters now have an advantage against Bello. And to pepper it in a couple of times, just even for a get-me-over strike early in the count, especially if you're going to keep it high, I think would do wonders for him.
So, Coley, I saw like the 2 lines of thinking. I saw your tweet about the fastball. Lou Merloni kind of offered another perspective on it, right? And he was kind of saying that he felt like he either needed to take a couple ticks off the changeup or maybe throw the slider even harder to create more of a difference between the pitches. He thinks everything, at least from the changeup and slider perspective, it's too close to each other. You need a different velocity bid. It's what Garrett Whitlock went through a year ago where, you know, at one point his changeup was blending into his other pitches and none of it worked. It ruined the whole arsenal. I think for Bello, I do think before anything, it's command. Even talking about that four-seamer, right? We knew last year when it was thrown high, he was in a good spot. Could he consistently throw it high? And I think that's the issue we keep coming back to with Bello. And, you know, in this start, he threw his slider more than he ever has. He threw it 43% of the time. Started the game with that nasty one to Volpe. But I think where you really need to look is the command because, and there's also a lefty problem here that needs to exist, but his walk per 9 is up from 2.6 to 3.4. The changeup, they're hitting 152 against it. I know the run value is what it is. 5 of his 10 homers are off of it. So what does that tell you? The changeup is nasty a majority of the time, except, you know, at least once a start or close to once a start, he's leaving it and it's hanging right in the middle of the zone and it's getting teed off on. And you start to look at the lefty stuff, and this is where you compare it to Tanner Houck a little bit, where he had some really massive struggles against lefties. 7 of the 10 homers Bello has given up are against them. Lefties are hitting 272, 355, 512, 887. So I think we're looking at a command problem and lefties are just still teeing off on him. Maybe that's where you start to say, well, maybe he needs another pitch. And maybe that cutter at one point, if he could refine it or do something different with it. But the fact that lefties are hitting him this hard and his command is still not where it needs to be, I think is just 2 places where he had to grow this year. And if anything, he's kind of regressed. But you look at the pitches within themselves, Cora's telling you, like, the pitches aren't bad. Like no. You know, metric wise, what you're kind of seeing there, the slider with the horizontal sweep, when it clicks in, you know, he retired 6 in a row at one point in this start between the second and third. It's just consistently throwing the ball where he needs to. And now the sinker, it's constantly bleeding into the middle of the zone when he was kind of pitching away from righties constantly last year. I think that's the biggest thing for him is just he needs to be able to command the baseball a little bit better, and he can't. Now, this might be something that never gets better either with him, which can be concerning. I understand some people frame it, but I'm not anywhere near that yet. I think this is a big development step for him.
He's still even with the numbers he's put up this year, and his expected ERA this year is basically the same as it was
The
last
whole
year. So if you're high
Savant page
on
is
him,
basically the same as it was
I
last
know.
year.
And what you can say is good and bad simultaneously.
Agreed.
I'm not here to be like, oh no, he's fine. He clearly isn't. And to Lou's point, I think having that fastball, then you don't have to mess with the changeup velocity because you're introducing a different pitch that people have to at least change their eye level. At least change what they're processing at the dish right now. He still compares to 2022 Tanner Houck, 2022 Logan Webb, 2022 Christopher Sanchez, and the pitcher he still compares most favorably to in terms of velocity and movement is 2022 and 2023 Luis Castillo. No one's going to sit here and argue those. That's not me cherry picking. Those are the top results that they have. It's not like I went through the top 10 and said, oh, here are 5 guys. No, those are the only people he really compares to in terms of pitch movement, velocity, command control, all of it. Those are the guys. So if you think those are good pitchers, there's reason to still believe there's a good pitcher in Brian Bello. The results have been shit, absolute shit this year, and that's all that pisses me off.
Well, the thing that sucks, obviously all of that, fully agree with everything you guys just said. Thing that sucks just from a fan perspective is you see Brian Bello in the probables and you're like, ah, damn, another Bello game. Like that's the exact opposite of what we want from Brian Bello. We want to see him coming up like, all right, got to make sure I don't miss that start. Like that's one I really want to make sure I'm watching from start to finish. And now he's in the probables for the finale of the series coming up. It's like, oh, no, hopefully they find a way to win that game. I know that there was going to be a lot of progression with Bello to getting to where we wanted him to be, to where we hoped he could be. Forget all the Pedro stuff. Being the best version he can be is where we wanted him. The fact that he's got a 6.44 ERA since coming off the IL, he's got a 7.47 ERA this month, is very concerning. It's very concerning that we're now just hoping that he's going to be like decent. Tyler, you're not wrong. He has little stretches where it's like, oh, that's the guy. He's right there. That's him.
You see the flash.
You see the flashes, but then it just vanishes, and then all of a sudden he's getting rocked.
And I think that's where people start to talk about the stuff between the ears. It's like, all right, he's able to lock into that, and that's where some of it bleeds into that White Sox start. I think even the drop ball in this game, it's like some of the in between the ears, it's just getting him to lock in throughout the entire start, not get emotional, kind of slow things down a little bit, because the game just looks like he walks a guy and it speeds up on him, and he's having a hard time. For a guy who's now been in the big leagues for parts of 3 seasons, he can't slow things down. Couldn't even finish the 4th or the 5th inning in this one, which is the second time in a row that's happened.
And
we at least need innings.
He signs that contract. All of us here wanted to be like, oh, what a steal. We wanted to be tweeting like that this year. And it's like, no, we can't even get that. There's people that are just giving up on Brian Bello. I think they're morons. Like, don't do that. Obviously, it's too early to be doing that.
Someone here.
Who?
You're giving up on him?
You didn't say giving up. Did you say giving up? No.
No, I just said like his ceiling is a 3, and there's nothing wrong with that, but he's pitching like a fucking 9.
I got the shit kicked out of me for saying last year I didn't think he was a number 1. People were like, dude, you're on fucking drugs. You're a Bello hater. But being a mid-rotation starter, or maybe even a number 2 if everything goes right, that's still such a great outcome for him.
And
for
a really good 3 would be awesome.
We'll take it.
I think maybe this isn't the number 1 factor, but I think it's a factor. Is we haven't had a pitching prospect, like a homegrown pitching prospect to be excited about since probably John Lester or Clay Buchholz. So the fact that there was hype surrounding Bello and then he came up and like I told you, like in 2022, I remember like sprinting across the street to go to Fenway so that I didn't miss his first Fenway start. Like that was the hype. It was like, you got to be there. You got to see this guy. And he's got a fucking 5 ERA, and he has a shit attitude. And I mean, like, I'm
shit attitudes too. We're just talking about Verdugo. Verdugo had a shit.
I think he's too emotional. I wouldn't call it.
I think Bello has a shit attitude. I do.
I don't think so.
I do, and I'm not gonna like harp on it again because everyone gets all
inconsistency.
I think you have a shit attitude when you don't pitch well, and then like you react like you are pitching well, and like you made one mistake, and it's like ruined everything. It's like no, like you overall have not pitched well, and they're like, oh well, you know the guy had injuries and you're not giving him like how many fucking starts after an injury do you need before we can start evaluating you again?
7
like you're
starts.
Just back.
It's been enough time.
Saying injury is insane. I would.
Also, the defense conversation bothers me too.
That's the blowback that I get though when I'm like critical of Bello, and I'm not saying I never said I gave up on the guy. I'm just saying that kind of like what Steve's saying when his name comes up on the Stop and Shop look ahead, I'm looking at it being like, well, that's a game that I don't feel great about. And to go from I need to sprint across the street to Fenway because I can't miss the first pitch of his big league debut to like, shit, that's a Bello game. I don't know about that one. You know, like that's disappointing. And I don't know why. I mean, apparently other people get blowback, but I get a lot of blowback for how I feel about Bello.
I think you've been overly negative.
I'm right.
And after this,
don't boo me. I'm right.
No, see, that's
he's got a 5 ERA, Coley. He's got a 5 fucking ERA. That's not good.
And his FIP's lower than that. This is what I hate about analytics and stat nerds. You pick and choose when it fits your argument.
I want "Don't boo me, I'm right" in your bio, Jerry. I want that in the bio. Don't boo me, I'm right.
This is a guy who still this season started the season opener and the home opener and pitched well in both of those starts.
What's his FIP?
I can't throw those
What's his
out.
471.
That's fucking terrible.
It's lower.
But it's terrible.
All I said was it was low.
If his ERA was 4.71 instead of 5, I'm not changing my tone. That's bad.
No, when it hit 5, you got noticeably angrier about it.
You want to get real nerdy, the expected FIP is 375.
I'm not even angry at him. I'm just angry at the people that like. Yeah, I'm not angry at Bello. I'm angry at the people that come at me for being critical of him. And it's like he's not a baby anymore. He got paid. Like this is not someone that's fighting tooth and nail to make it as a prospect. It's like, no, he got big league money now. Like he's paid. So like you can come at him the same way that you would for a free agent signing. It's like he has a contract. He's making big league money now. He doesn't have to go year to year and fight through arbitration. Like he's taken care of. Like we can evaluate him how we would evaluate anybody. I don't know why he gets like treated like a baby or something.
I'm not saying don't evaluate him, but even last time we talked about him, I was the only one trying to talk about his pitching.
I thought we weren't going to be negative. I thought we weren't going to be negative on that.
I'm not being negative. I told you I think I found a solution.
Yeah.
That's fucking massively positive.
Back. Let's go. Coley found it.
Definitely not back.
I'm saying he's going to be now because you found it, Coley. Here we go. We're back.
Yeah. 4 2/3, 6 hits, 4 earned, 5 runs, 5 strikeouts. He walked 3 more people.
I'm not saying this was a good start.
I'm gonna sneak in a negative real quick. The tough part about the Bello antics is I can guarantee you when they had the contract discussions and they signed the deal, they probably thought, hey, by the way, there's going to be an expectation that you carry yourself like you're a guy that we're investing in.
I never noticed them before this year. Like there
were signs.
We talked
certainly
about
signs of it.
I'm not saying that they weren't there, but like they weren't this bad.
He wasn't throwing his glove into the ground. No.
Yeah.
That was inexcusable. Yeah. And hey, hopefully, weirdly enough, it's like, I'm kind of glad it happened because now it's like, all right, well, I'm sure Cora's telling him you can never do that again. Like that, we're not going to be having, slamming your glove into the ground. We're not going to stand that. So I mean, maybe that is a teaching moment. He's still young enough where he can have those. But yeah, you get the contract, you got to act accordingly.
Yeah,
I still also appreciate tonight not jumping.
If you say this Cutter Crawford take, I'm going to die.
No. When Casas is doing he's got the mic. He's cutting the best promo in the world. And him and Bello just are like, I don't give a fuck how many non-Spanish people are watching this. We're talking in Spanish for a while.
The best Bello thing
I've got my jersey on backwards for some reason. Yeah, it's just like what we were saying, what Jared was saying about Verdugo. I don't think that exists in the clubhouse. Now, I don't know that. I don't think that would go over with someone everyone fucking hated.
He had Kenley's jersey on. It wasn't even his jersey.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. And we'll get to that. Not jump
don't jump at it by any means. Red Sox lose 20-0. Game 2. Cooper Criswell and Carlos Rodon, super underwhelmed by Carlos Rodon. This is after I gave him props on Baseball is Dead, Jake. I was talking about, how like this dude could be an X factor for the Yankees. Garrett Cole can take his sweet ass time coming back because Rodon's got like a low 3. This guy sucks.
His body language stinks too.
Right?
He looks like he stinks.
He looks like he physically smells bad.
Oh, I didn't even think. Yeah, he might smell too. He just gives off the vibes of a guy that gets rocked. Like I didn't see any of his other starts this year, but I'm basing it off of this. And last year, he sucks.
2021 and 2022, Carlos Rodon doesn't exist anymore. The FIP's 398. He was striking out 12 per 9 back then. It's 8.6
The strikeouts
now.
per 9 is it's like cut in half. It's crazy.
8.6.
Yeah, they gave him what, $140 something million. But yeah, I mean,
162.
Like oof. I feel like we don't give Cooper Criswell enough love, and I'm not putting, this is very obvious statement. I'm going to say something that's very obvious. I'm not putting Cooper Criswell in the same tier as Tanner Houck. But what I am saying, but what I am saying is Cooper Criswell, like Tanner Houck, was someone that coming into the season, we did not factor into being a part of the rotation. And he has been a very big part of this rotation. He's not a guy that's going to go out there and give you 6-7 innings, but he's going to give you 4 or 5, maybe throw in a 6 just to fuck with you. But he's going to give you a chance to win every time out. It's like, it's like, oh yeah, we signed this dude, Cooper Criswell, for literally $1 million. And he has been steady Eddie out there. He gives you 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, strikes out 6, throws 88 pitches. It's, it's not the most efficient 4 innings I've ever seen, but it was 4 innings against a Yankee lineup that usually shits all over people. And Cooper Criswell was like, I actually don't do that against anybody. I go out there, and if it's 4 innings, 5 innings, 6 innings, I'm going to give up 2 or 3, and I'm going to hit the fucking showers. That's what I do. That's what Cooper Criswell does, baby.
I mean, it's 7 earned against
he got rocked a few
Baltimore, and
times.
he's also never come close to 6 innings, not once. As
Baltimore
a Red Sox,
doesn't
but
count.
Oh yeah,
That doesn't
that's
count.
also the high-low.
They just beat the brakes off Zach Wheeler today. I don't know if you saw that, but Jesus
For
Christ.
sure. Yeah, no, he's no Criswell. What I didn't know
He's
going
no
into this
Criswell.
series, he's no Criswell.
Nah.
What I didn't know, and shout out Kenny Ducey, who had the stat like as the game was
Deuce?
starting, which was
Big
infuriating. Yeah, the big deuce.
The deuce?
The Yankees fucking suck if you throw slow. Like, if you don't throw fast, the Yankees got nothing for you. If we had all known that going into this game, we would have had a big W for Criswell.
Even like looking at Criswell's numbers, it's a 4.15 ERA. The FIP's 3.68, and that does feel a little bit closer to what he's done, like 4 ERA. But for him, it's like he in this game alone, the DJ LeMahieu blooper, like that's how the 2 runs came across on him. It wasn't like he got smashed for a homer or anything like that. Like it took a blooper to do any damage. This entire signing, he's striking out more than more than a batter per 9 than he did a year ago. If you're looking for what Andrew Bailey can do, he's made him a legit fifth starter in this league, whether it's here or they ship him out, because while it's a 1-year deal, they have control over him for the foreseeable future. You have an asset you can do something with. I'd love to call him up and send him up and down.
He wants to trade him now.
That's
It's
insane.
like,
It's value. I'm not telling you to trade him, but he has value.
That feels like what
value.
you're saying. I'm just going to say
This-
what everyone else is thinking. Where would this team be without Cooper Criswell? That's the real question.
Josh Winkowski starting every 5th day.
Where is he, by the way? I know he's in Worcester.
8
but like, what
punchies.
the hell is he
8
doing?
punchies in Worcester,
Okay,
Jared.
But Cora was like, yeah, I think he finally had like a good one down there. He was like, yeah, he struck out
He
8.
normally
I was like,
stinks.
"Jeez."
Player manager Alex Cora, ladies and gentlemen.
Winks on that
Alex
bad
Cora,
list.
I mean, like that he can't wait to manage the Phils next year.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
gonna be-
At least we do have to cherish these quotes. These have been the most honest manager quotes we've gotten since probably Valentine, even though those were
Jimmy Williams.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Joe Kerrigan.
yeah. I mean, Cora was never this direct. This is by far the most direct he's ever been. He's like, we get our ass kicked.
Because he knows he doesn't have to
Sometimes
deal
we
with
kick
it.
their ass. Like there's guys on this team that suck. Like he'll just say whatever he wants. I love it.
Yeah.
You can
God bless
also
him.
tell when they're doing the broadcast and they're talking about like what's going on with him. It's clearly coming from like the horse's mouth in a lot of ways.
Oh
like,
yeah, they're all saying
you can
he's
take
not
a year
bad.
off and spend time with his
Yeah.
family and like hang out. It's like, oh yeah, this sounds
He's
pretty familiar.
he's still very close with Ravi. So like, yeah, anything is like, this is someone that like I think maybe he'd want to go to Philly to get back with Dave Dombrowski. I don't know.
And then they go,
Yeah,
they
that
toss it to Olney, who like talks to him all the time, and he's just like, yeah, I mean, I would say he's gone. I would say he's
Yeah.
definitely not going to be back here. Again, speculation, but he will
Just
not.
a hunch.
Yeah, just a hunch.
Just a hunch. I feel like he's probably not going to be back next year. Maybe I could see a universe where he considers taking a year off if the Phillies job isn't open, because he definitely wants to take that. But, he's going to have options. He's going to have options.
Yeah, his daughter's graduating BC. There's a really good, I'd say like 99.9% chance he wants to spend more time with her. Again, just
Yeah.
guessing. Just guessing.
Just like reading between the lines there.
Didn't talk to him literally 5 minutes ago, but yeah, I think he's out of
Yeah.
here, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys see the
if the
Lou
Red
thing
Sox-
though?
What?
Lou said on EEI the other day, like the constant message from Cora this year kind of saying like he believes in what the Red Sox are doing right now. with the pitching
Yes,
development, all
it's-
these things, and the
Yeah,
young
it's-
core. It's Lou, right? You know what?
What's
He's
he
not
gonna
going
I was
to.
gonna say I don't believe in anything they're doing here. This is the dumbest
Yeah.
organization ever.
Lou is someone that talks with Cora, so maybe not right now. But what happens if the Red Sox do string a couple, maybe a month or a month and a half of really good baseball? Is there any way that
What if they
conversation
win the whole
changes?
fucking thing,
Tyler.
Tyler?
I
What
don't
if they
know.
just
I don't
go
know.
out there and
Into
win
the
whole fucking
CS.
I'd call it like
Tyler.
5%. I'd call it
Tyler.
5%.
Tyler. It's 0%.
Zero.
They're gonna go to the ALCS
He's
and then
gone.
he's gonna go to the Phillies. That's the plan.
I mean, Buster's not wrong. I definitely could see a scenario where he takes a year off if the job that he really wants isn't out there. But the money that's going to be out there for him, it's going to be very hard to be like, I'm going to wait a year and then, like, what if that money's not? I don't know. It probably still will be out there for him if he waits a year, if he just wants to take a year off, whatever. But yeah, he ain't come back.
Who's our manager next year? Who are we thinking? Brennicky?
I don't know. Probably Grimace. Wasn't he?
Grimace.
Yep.
Big Grimace guy.
Yeah.
Chad Tracy
he-
for president.
If they cut to the dugout and Grimace just sitting there,
Same emotions on his
It's like-
face, same face every
Yeah.
time. Yep.
Yeah. He's just always stone faced, but he just rips heaters in the dugout because he just like his favorite manager is Jim Leland. So he's just
yeah, of course.
he
yeah.
goes in first day of spring training and just chews out Raffy for no reason, rips a dart in the dugout, gets ejected in spring training
Dude,
games just to set the tone.
Grimace getting tossed by a home plate ump, like complaining
Oh.
strikes. He's just got that goofy face and he's just getting
Yeah.
thrown out. I love it.
The Hamburglar sitting behind the dugout being like, boo. Yeah. That's theater. That's, yeah, so my vote's Grimace.
Yeah.
But if it's not him, then that's a conversation that we're going to have this offseason. But not to jump
I think
ahead.
we all agree on that, though. It should be Grimace, too, for the work he's put in.
I mean, it's kind of where this game is going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Raffy would love Grimace. They would have a
I
special
mean, look
bond.
the impact he just had on the Mets. I think he turned the Mets season around.
Yeah. 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 I mean, obviously, you know who Raffy still talks to all the time about hitting. JD Martinez.
I was gonna say
and
Grimace.
JD.
Me too. I was about to say.
Well, no. JD was in the JD was just in the cage of Grimace all weekend.
Mm.
And that's just, he's just doing that because he loves the game. He loves to be around it. So I don't know. Yeah,
So
I feel
what's-
like
Kidding aside, I mean, the Mets
Good
have won
pick.
5 in a row. Just saying. That's the Grimace
I
effect.
know. Yeah.
What's strange about Grimace is someone I've talked about a lot, which should be no surprise to anyone.
Yeah.
This is from 2017. So him popping up this last week at like every fucking baseball game feels very coordinated. Because the last time
What's
he
he
had been
up to,
seen
kind of thing?
publicly, well, the last time he had been seen publicly was July 18th, 2012 at Dodger Stadium. Prior to this little run
that they've
he's
been on.
had. He was doing his signature gimme gimme dance to Ram Jam's Black Betty.
Mhm.
Since then, he vanished without a trace. So that was 12 years. Grimace was on the run. The Lamb? Who's to say what happened? You know what I mean? What statute of limitations ran dry that allowed him to come back into the public eye like this?
I don't even
What if
think
he was
it's-
just studying the new analytics? Like back
No.
then, they weren't doing all these. Like there was no
they weren't.
Statcast in 2012. There was no Baseball Savant in 2012. He's probably just been like hitting the books and being like, all right, when I reemerge, I'm gonna let the Mets know like that they'll welcome me in. Like I'll go to the Mets. I'll rub off on that shit show, and then next thing you know, I'll hit free agency as a manager. And who wouldn't want to hire Grimace?
I think he can be a player manager too. I just sent you guys the image MLB tweeted. He's like, hey, come on, that's not that out. I just threw the pitch.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
I can
Grimace,
tell
yeah,
you,
man.
talking into some of my murder
Grimace?
circles, what happens with Grimace. Grimace has killed a lot of people. I don't think he's doing anything changing the way the Mets play. But if you know Grimace could take your life at any fucking moment, you're going to show up and play ball every day. Like this guy was committing murders for the past 6 months. We saw it all on TikTok. He will kill
That's
anyone
true.
and
It was his
anything.
birthday. It was his birthday.
Is that like a Wally thing though, where like his birthday is different every year? It's just
I don't think so. They only talked about it because it was like his 50th or something. Like it was a big birthday for.
That's a perfect
for the
manager
Grim
age
Man.
too, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Great manager age.
Yeah,
that's got to
it's
be like the
not too
average
old.
manager age. That's right in the sweet spot.
It's old enough to be old school, but it's young enough to know the analytics.
He knows the analytics,
Right.
obviously.
Right.
June 12th is the birthday.
How do we get in touch with Grimace?
He gets in touch with
Yeah,
you.
he doesn't have a number.
Yeah.
He just finds you. He shows up at your place.
Okay. Jake, can we work on getting Grimace on the podcast? I feel like that's something. I don't even know if he's interested.
No.
I don't want to spend
Never
a
heard
whole
him
segment
talk.
talking about Grimace managing the Red Sox if that's not something that he's into. I don't know. He may not like all the one-way streets in Boston.
What does he sound like, Jerry? Grimace, you heard him talk?
I've never heard him talk. I don't think he says anything.
Okay. Well, everyone
Has he
knows.
ever
He
done an
shows
interview?
up. People know what's up. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, business. Let's
yeah.
win some ball
Yeah,
games.
Doesn't
time.
need to.
Yeah. It's literally
know
all he
he
had to do for the
fucking-
Mets. 5-game winning streak.
He slams Blue Moons, though. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he was
Responsible.
doing after, what did he throw out the first pitch of the Mets game?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was slamming Blue Moons after he did that. Because some beers can say that they're brewed for baseball, but only Blue Moon is brewed by baseball. And beer and baseball, they just go together. And no beer goes better than the one that was literally born in a ballpark. And Blue Moon was created at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado, which you already know that. It's the natural choice for opening day and all season long. It's actually the preferred beer of Grimace. What is Grimace?
He's a proud Irish American. Actually, his uncle, O'Grimacy. I promise I'm not making this up. Is the founder of the Shamrock Shake, so he is a proud Irish American. Grimace also used to have 8 arms, so he could carry more shakes, and it scared the fuck out of people. So they stopped doing that. They stopped doing that real quick.
You making this up?
I wish I was.
Where are you seeing this?
Buddy, I've known this for many years. Steve's looking at it right
Yeah,
now.
it
He
says
can't
the
believe it.
purpose of Grimace is to demonstrate the food tastes good. That and also to lead baseball
I don't know that
teams
they
to winning
landed
seasons. Yeah.
They landed that. Look up Uncle O'Grimacy. He's got the shillelagh. He's big. He's green.
He's an Irish American.
Are you guys on McDonald's
proud.
wiki right now?
The lovable spherical shaped character Grimace has always been one of McDonald's most recognizable faces, even if fans never knew what he actually is. What is Grimace? So the lovable spherical shaped purple giant has always been one of McDonald's most recognizable characters, with his bright smile and his arms always open for a hug. However, fans have never really known what he's supposed to be. That changed back in 2021 when Brian Bates, a manager of McDonald's in Canada, revealed the answer to the Golden Arch's biggest mystery, telling CBS News. By the way, before I read this, I'm learning this as you guys are. I feel like this isn't his information to share. By the way,
He doesn't know.
Yeah, it's
He
He's
doesn't
just
know.
guessing too.
telling CBS News that Grimace is, quote, an enormous taste bud, but a taste bud nonetheless. At the time, Bates was named
That seemed like a
Outstanding
fat
Manager
line.
of the
He's calling him
Year.
fat. I think that was he's an enormous taste that he called him fat there.
That's not even
Bates
what a
was
taste
named
bud looks like.
Outstanding Manager of the Year. CBS News reported in the 1,400 plus restaurants across Canada that put him in the top 10% of working managers. The purpose of Grimace, Bates told the outlet, is to demonstrate the food tastes good. At the time, McDonald's offered some clarification in a statement to People magazine. Quote, whether he's a taste bud, a milkshake, or just your favorite purple blob, the best part about Grimace is that he means different things to different people, the spokesperson
I
said.
hate that.
Whatever he is, we're just proud our bestie makes people happy. McDonald's has also addressed the question of Grimace's identity in the past. In 2012, McDonald's posted from their official Twitter account that Grimace was, quote, the embodiment of a milkshake, though others still insist he is a taste bud.
So he used to originally, because McDonald's used to make like movies and stuff, like straight to VHS movies you could watch at home. And Grimace was one of the Hamburglars' cronies. Of course, the Hamburglar burgled hams. Grimace was stealing those shakes. You know what I mean? They're having a grand old time. They were trading back at the lair. And that's why Grimace used to have 4 to 8 arms, so he could carry just more shakes for the fellas. So this taste bud nonsense, I just can't jive with that. But again, proud Irish American.
No, he is. The taste bud thing is kind of weird. Also, like, pick a side. Like, is he a taste bud? Is he a milkshake? What is he? He is my favorite color. This is a nice purple. A dark purple is just you can't go wrong with it. So, yeah, Grimace, next Sox manager.
Yeah. From its refreshing flavor with Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness and hints of coriander, Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale is a one-of-a-kind beer that's made brighter. It's carefully crafted and full-flavored with refreshing notes and a smooth, creamy finish. Blue Moon was brewed by Baseball to give you a dose of nostalgia and get you excited for the new season. Why strike out with the same old beer when you can get something that's one of a kind? Its bold-flavored, bright explosion of color and iconic orange slice ritual guarantees a one-of-a-kind beer experience that is perfect for spring weather. Best served with its signature orange garnish to showcase its beautiful hazy color. A beer this good only comes around once in a blue moon, but you can enjoy it all season long. Bring the ballpark to you with Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale. It's a one-of-a-kind every time. Get Blue Moon delivered by visiting get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared to see your delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared. Blue Moon, made brighter. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Also, I appreciate everyone who is taking selfies with my Blue Moon cardboard cutout in various liquor stores across New England. It's regional. People are like, "Oh, I'm in Florida. Where can I find it?" You can't. It's a regional cardboard cutout. I've seen some in Rhode Island. Most of them are in Massachusetts. A lot of them in the South Shore. I'm still waiting to see one in person myself. I haven't seen many in the North Shore. It's a lot of South Shore. It's a lot of Cape Cod, the Providence, Warwick area. But if you see it, post that selfie. We'll repost. Shout out to Blue Moon. Yeah, so that second game there, Red Sox win 8-4. That got me feeling. It still took me a little while to, even today, to kind of like get the juices flowing. Like I thought, all right, I think I picked the series as 1 out of 3, but I had them winning on Sunday because it's the Sunday Sox, and then winning on Saturday really confused me. I was like, well, if we win on Saturday, does that mean that we can also win on, like, we can win the series? Like, can we also win on Sunday, or did we waste our 1 win on Saturday? So I didn't know, like, I wasn't feeling like we stole one on Saturday, so now we're going to win the series. I was just like, did we just move our 1 win over? But lo and behold, the Red Sox on Sunday, we now know. Now I'm kind of, what was the game that they lost on Sunday? Who was that to, Tyler? I feel like you would know. Tampa?
What? A week ago.
Wasn't it the game?
Tigers.
I
was there.
at? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my fault. Hand up.
And they could have walked it off, right? Wasn't it? They were tied in the 9th?
Oh, yeah, we were tied in the 8th. Yeah.
I know we were tied in the 8th, but we were also tied in the 9th, yeah? Oh, man.
Yeah, Jamie Westbrook, big walk. And then, they just fucked it up.
They were up 3-0 in that game, by the way, so that was annoying.
For sure.
That's
definitely should have won. Absolutely should have won that game. Didn't. It was weird, Jared, because they win Saturday, so now it's the Sunday Sox versus the back to 500 Sox. Like, you had those two forces going head to head.
Yeah.
And the Sunday Sox, they tried. They fucking tried their damnedest to lose this game.
Dom Smith tried.
I mean, Bernardino wasn't exactly his sharpest self, which I'm not upset about. He's been fucking nails all year. So I can't be too mad at him. And yeah, most of it was Dom Smith's fault. I was mad at Bernardino for taking out Anthony Rizzo, the worst player in baseball this year. It made the Yankees better by taking him out of the game. Didn't care for that. But you got to do what you got to do. Them bouncing back, after, like them having the bases loaded, Zach Kelly coming in, who's been mostly shaky. Like, he's been good, but shaky. And just fucking nails. 1, 2, 3. I think John Boy had a stat in the moment. The Yankees were like 3-0 or 2-0 like 8 times this game, and they watched the next strike. Like, you're in the hitter's count. They didn't swing at any of those pitches. Thanks. Well, I appreciate it. because that was inexplicable. Glaber had an awful at bat to start that off, and then Zach Kelly just dialed in. It's 4-3. You still don't feel great about where they're at right there, and then they just kept pouring it on to a point where it was just like Kenley put his hoodie back on. He was like, "You guys don't need me tonight. I'm all set.
Yeah.
I'm all set right
When
now."
we talk about fired up moments, I think the Zach Kelly boom, 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 getting out of that might be the most excited I've been the entire season. Like, looking at that situation, the fact that Bernardino, like you mentioned, is the guy that put you in that spot, which is really weird. I just assumed he was going to get no, leave him in. He always gets out of this situation and acts like it's the easiest thing ever. So I thought they were going to do that. But Kelly coming in and shutting the door like that, I'm thinking, okay, they're going to get a sac fly at some point. This is going to be a tie game. To give up nothing there. And he had a 3-0 count. 3-0 count, no outs, bases loaded. They give up no runs? That's unheard of. Jared?
Before we jump ahead here to the series finale, I don't think that we can move on, Coley, from the second game without noting Kenley Jansen calling the dugout, being like, "Hey, AC, put me in the fucking game, dude." 4-out save for Kenley, who demanded the ball, took it, and shoved to
get his trade value up. Exactly.
Yeah. Like, it ended up being it was a 4-run win for the Red Sox, but it was a save for Kenley because he entered the game in a save situation. That, Coley, I mean, I'm going to let you speak on your boy because you've been ride or die for Kenley this whole time.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like you were building up to an apology there, and it just didn't come, so I'm confused.
What am I apologizing for?
I remember when his back was dislocated against like the fucking A's or something. Everyone was like, "This guy doesn't want to play baseball."
He pitched the next day. He pitched the next day. He was fine.
Because he fixed it because he's a warrior and he battles through shit. But when he tells you he can't go, he's not fucking lying. He can't go. When he can go, he's like, "I'll throw all 9 against these fucking Yankees. I don't give a shit, dude." That's Kenley Jansen. Yeah, I don't need to speak about it. I know what Kenley does. People were calling me a liar when he checked into the game. I immediately just tweeted out Snoopy going to bed with a smile on his face. We all knew that game was over. And when I say we, I mean the Kenley Boys. The
Kenley Boys. Gotta have a better name than that, Cole.
Jansen Jamboree.
I actually like the Kenley
We were just
Boys.
like, oh, man. Here comes another lockdown. And that's all it was. Would he throw 4 pitches? I don't even remember because I turned the game off because I knew it was over.
That's our group, the Kenley Boys. I like that.
The Kenley Boys.
He
didn't give up a hit
amongst
he
all
was
relievers.
ready to go tonight. He was ready to go in the 7th tonight. He was like, "When do you need me, Skip?
No.
I'll tell you when to put me in. I'm the captain
1.23 ERA in his last 6. Still a 0 ERA on the road for Kenley this year. 4.85 at Fenway. He hates pitching at Fenway outside of this series. That was great.
Didn't strike anybody out.
I think one of the things you have seen with Kenley this year as well, and Cora recently was like, yeah, he has the best job in the game because he hasn't been utilized a ton, right? Like there's been a lot of breaks in between. So you're getting a very fresh version of Kenley each time he's out there. So I think that's why.
Not his fault.
No, it's not. But I think that's why he's also willing to go, beyond an inning. That's what you asked for. The fact that he did 2 innings, a week ago now, was willing to go beyond and go get you 4 outs this time. That felt like something you couldn't even really consider last year, partially because his body wasn't holding up and because you were running him into the ground. Right now, whenever the Red Sox are in these positions, he's ready to let it loose. I don't know what more you could ask for. I got to tip my cap to him.
Yeah. I'm tipping my cap. There it is.
There you go.
Tip my cap.
Tipped. Officially tipped.
Jansen. Tipped, yeah. Big time tip to Kenley.
11.7 K per 9 is third most since 2017. Guy is dialed in.
I'm happy for him. I really am.
It's a good time to be dialed
Happy
in,
for
too.
us.
I'm happy for us. Yeah, the Kenley Boys, I'm happy for you guys, but also for us as a whole to get this guy's value up.
Yeah. As a whole, we got to get this guy's trade value through the roof so that Liam Hendricks can take over that role and we can punch our ticket to the ALCS.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way,
Why not have both? It's like having Scott Williamson and Keith Folk back there. You're not seeing the vision at all.
No, I'm not. Tyler's the only one that wants him traded. He wants to trade everybody.
Whoa. Don't jump off this boat with me.
The 3 of you were just
I don't
ready
even
to
like
trade him
want
out.
to. I just think he's gonna be traded. It's a want and expectation.
I don't want him to be traded. I want to win the fucking World Series.
I just want to get to the CS. I'm fine with that. Yeah,
one series at a time.
Yeah,
one series at a time. The Orioles are going to dust us in the ALCS, but we're going to get there.
We will get there. We'll get some live shows at it. We'll get content out of it.
Yeah, Orioles in 5.
Yep.
But
I was gonna say
we're gonna
sweep.
get there. Though.
Okay.
I'll also
we're
add
gonna get one.
on the Kenley Jansen front, I think even he has come out and admitted he was pouting, right? And I give credit to him for saying that and saying he needed to kind of change his outlook and his mindset. So I throw this in like the Nick Pivetta kind of, column or whatever it may be. Yeah, he was pouting at one point. I think there are reasons to be a little bit frustrated with the way he was going about things and the way he kind of just seemed down and out. He flipped the page. He completely, and the stuff is all stepped up. Him struggling earlier in the season and walking guys. He showed that wasn't the real him. He's been able to cut that down. It's still over 4, but when you're striking out guys like he is, it doesn't matter. But props to him. He realized he had to change his outlook too, and he did.
Yeah, I agree. That's
His
a good
spine
comparison.
was leaking out of his asshole.
He also was
why
like,
is he walking everybody?
he also was like, yeah, I kind of need to change the way I'm looking at this situation, which is fair to him. He signed up for something different. We all know that. It just felt like it took him a little bit longer to get over it than some of the other guys on the roster.
He was letting the Kenley boys down. He didn't want to do that.
Mm-hmm. He's doing it for the Kenley boys. He's not doing it for anyone else.
Kenley boys don't get let down.
No.
We stay up.
We stay up.
That's your motto. It's on your shirts. You guys wear it. Yeah.
We stay up.
Yeah, the Kenley
Never
boys
been
we stay
down.
up.
Kenley boys never been down.
Mm-mm. Not once.
Don't know what it feels like.
Yeah.
Not a clue.
Yeah. Shout out to the Kenley boys.
The logo on the shirt is just the point up, right? It's the Sup Brother thing. It's just him pointing to the sky. Kenley boys.
I mean,
Only
it's
been
him.
up, never been down.
He's got the World Series trophy in one. He's got the NBA, the Larry O'Brien in the other. This guy's just stacking trophies left and
Two-time
right.
champ.
He's like the Bo Jackson of our time.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Bo Jackson of our time.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Fuck. Anyways, the series finale. Man, was that a nice line of snow right up the nostril.
Sex.
What a fucking game, fellas. Just going skiing on a Sunday. Man, was that good. That was the good push.
It was what, 4-1. Trevino was like, I gotta have some fucking pride here.
Yeah.
I gotta have just a shred of pride.
Ravitch was right, dude. I don't think it was kind of a weird line, but he's like, do you think he's just pissed off that everyone's stealing on him, so he hit a homer? I think that's
No one in the
happened.
booth understood what he was
Like,
saying.
no, he wasn't
That was
throwing at him. LeMayu. It's like, no, I'm not talking about that at all.
The booth was like, I'm not one to complain about the booth. They were awful.
Yeah,
tonight.
they were all over the place.
Judge had that throw to third, and they were like, he nailed the cutoff. Man,
Yeah.
he didn't go close to.
He wasn't
a cutoff.
trying to hit the cutoff. He was stunned that Duran was going on him, and then the throw sucked. That's what happened. It was
Right.
like accurate
He also
cutoff.
low-
Yeah, you're right. He missed the cutoff, and it's because Duran ran on him. That's why.
Right. And Duran ran on him because Judge just kind of like
He was kind of
oafishly
chilling out
loafed
there.
to go get the
Just
ball.
jogging,
Yeah, it was. He kind of cost them the game. The more I'm talking about it, but it was 4-1 solo jack to Trevino, and then he's got Volpe on third, and he just throws that sweeper right into the dugout, and it's just like, come on, man! Like, well, this was going so well, too well, and now it's a real game that we have to watch. It didn't feel great. The fact that they were able to battle back and not even make it a game after that it has to be among the most. It was this, and the game story went down when they dug out that win against the Angels. Those have been like the two most impressive wins in the middle of a game where it didn't feel like it was going to end up.
This
as a
is
win.
totally useless, by the way, but the Crawford yell was because he struck out Judge again. It wasn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
He wasn't
totally.
mad.
Yes.
No, it wasn't. He was pissed off at the wild pitch.
No.
Like, no chance.
No.
It was like a Pivetta
No.
scream, like, fuck yeah, I just got through, especially
Yeah.
considering
Yeah.
Judge took him to the moon earlier in the game.
Exactly. It was a
Yes.
Judge thing. He wasn't like, fuck yeah, I messed up earlier. Like, that's not, that's
Yeah.
not what he did. And Cone,
No.
he's too. I'm not gonna make this a whole thing about the Sunday Night Baseball booth, but he tries to do like the former player, like, I know what that was. No, you don't. That's not what that was. It doesn't matter that you played wrong. He was excited that he struck out the best player in the game.
No, he was
Twice.
clearly excited, but the second they said that, I had to troll you assholes in the group text.
Oh, I didn't
Didn't
know.
work.
So, what did you say?
I will say, I thought Connor Wong should have blocked that ball on top of it. I think that's one.
No,
I didn't think it was right to his right. If he got out, and this has been kind of a weakness for Connor Wong all year.
Well,
He's second
here comes the
percentile
Wong
blocks
trade.
above average. Boy, I have no problem with Connor Wong. I've been a Connor Wong
Get him
truther.
out.
I just
Get
thought,
Wong
listen, he
out.
could have got out in front of that ball. It's a weakness. It's a weaker part of his game.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Where do you see him? Minnesota? Something like that?
He's going to be platooning with Kyle Teal. We're going to be in a very good situation. Keep Kyle Teal
Yeah,
fresh.
homer again. Yep. Yep. Cutter Crawford, 9 strikeouts in this one, 6 innings, 3 hits. He gave up the 2 bombs, did have 1 walk. But this was his season high for strikeouts. Is that right?
Yeah, season high. Last year he did it one time.
Ooh.
But this is back-to-back starts. Last start was a season high as well, 8.
Yeah.
What's the
It's
common
ticking up
thread there?
the
He got
punchies.
the extra time off. So it seems like he's able to miss bats. It was his most whiffs. He had 16 total, heavy on the four-seamer at 32% and 27% on the sweeper. This is a fresher version of Cutter. I think the extra time helped. It's just you hope he can keep building off of that and he doesn't, wear down.
Jared, what was your reaction
Both.
to this being a season high in strikeouts for him?
I was like, ooh, god damn, boy.
Goalie?
Both dingers were off the cutter. Yes.
Correct.
That Judge one
Oh.
was.
Hey,
You tweeted it, Coley, right?
87.
Biggest meatball I think I've
87
ever
right
seen in my
down
life.
Dick.
To the one guy
didn't
you
cut.
don't want to throw that
It didn't
pitch to.
cut.
Yeah.
It didn't cut at all. Like, it was the worst. It's as bad. Shohei got one earlier this year, which I think was like 83 in the exact same spot. And the same fucking thing happened. They back to the booth. They were acting like Judge didn't know he got that. They never showed where that ball landed. It got hit so fucking far. Of course, Judge knew exactly what happened to that ball.
I think they were.
Yeah, Judge was laughing while that ball was coming in. He's like, "You're gonna throw me that pitch." Okay.
He didn't sprint out of the box like, I got to get 2 here. Like, he immediately started adjusting his helmet.
Yeah.
Like, he knew exactly what happened.
I will also add, I believe it was in that last Aaron Judge at bat, he hung another one. I'm pretty sure it was a cutter. It might have been a bad sweeper, but it was down the dick. And Judge knew it. He stepped back and he was like, oh, that
He
was
just
the
pissed
pitch.
himself.
But this is the anti of the Schwarber, right? Schwarber got him in the third at bat and the first at bat. This time Cutter got smashed in the first, but he was good in the last 2.
Judge did a thing that I like power hitters and guys that know they're like him do. Cutter got him on a fastball that really wasn't that fast. And it was kind of sort of down the middle. He struck out on it and he looked out at him like, please throw me that my next at bat. Like I will absolutely smack that ball. But no, credit to Cutter. He struck out Aaron Judge twice after giving up a bump.
He set him up with the first one because the first one was so goddamn slow that 94 looked like 112.
But he definitely gave him that look of like, oh, all right, okay, you got me with that, but I don't think you'll get me again.
Yeah. Big game for Connor Wong.
Mm.
The triple, nips were out, T-Dog. We were nipping in the mirror there.
I was ready, baby.
Yeah, you might be ready for a suspension too.
All right. Can we address this? Because I had no idea.
I know you didn't, but that's.
I don't think you should get tossed for this.
It's not my artwork.
It's up. It's up for discussion right now. So here, if anyone listening to the podcast was unaware of what we're talking about here, obviously nips for trips. Anytime a player on the Red Sox hits a triple, Tyler has to tweet a picture of his nipples, and he took a selfie. Fresh nips, new nips, which we always appreciate. We don't want any recycled nips. So we had a fresh nips for trips that T-Dog tweeted out after the Connor Wong 2-run triple. And there was a picture of what was in the background, Tyler?
So the picture itself, because all of it isn't in there, it's a man, I assume, with his feet in a bathtub, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on the corners of the bath, there's a opposing alcohol sponsor that we do not support. Shout out Blue Moon. But this is an old painting. I believe this is from the 80s, so Blue Moon wasn't even around yet.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
none of that matters. None of that matters, by the way. I'm just, I think you're off the hook because we thought you'd be dumb enough to say what beer it was.
I'm
100% thought he was saying it there. 100%.
Yeah.
Red Sox lead MLB in triples now, though.
There you go.
So they are built for nips.
They're both built for your nips, Tyler. I think once they saw this was a thing, they're like, we love this guy's sexy nips.
Yeah.
We got to keep seeing him.
Shout out to the people who
Valdez
saw.
is like, I need those things.
Yeah. The people see my abs are starting to sculpt out a little bit. I have noticed that as well. So thank you for pointing it out. They're underneath. They're protected.
Do you think people would buy a Ketchup Guppy t-shirt?
Easily.
But like, do you know what a Ketchup Guppy looks like? They're fucking mean looking.
Like a piranha almost, right?
Kind of, yeah. Like, cause they're like they eat like this, but they've got big teeth like that.
You know that fish in Nemo that has like the little light on top of its head?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
Like these guppies, ketchup drips out of it.
Yeah. It's they're not friendly looking. I don't know. Maybe we put up a Ketchup Guppy t-shirt. I don't know. We'll have to have that conversation with people at Clark's. Franchise record 9 steals for the Boston Red Sox tonight. We kind of talked about how Trevino probably should just fucking retire at this point. It was bullying. By the 7th steal, I was like, all right, guys, come on. Like, he's gonna quit.
Did we know that he sucks that bad at? I didn't know he's that bad at throwing the ball.
No.
He's viewed
we
as
haven't
like
seen
one of the
shit like
best
that.
defensive catchers in baseball, usually.
They said his arm strength's
Yeah,
the worst out of all catchers. I didn't know that.
It looks like the Red Sox received that information. Yeah.
I was
Credit to those. This is the game Alex Cora has wanted to play. He played it, man. He ran it all the way into the damn ground.
You know how bad it is when everyone in the park and watching at home knows the guy's going to steal and he's going to be safe? Like, that's to get to that point's pretty tough.
Hamilton had 4 on his own.
He overtook Duran on the season. Just in this game alone, he overtook Jaron Duran for the team lead.
And credit to the Sox getting a third a bunch of times, because then they just didn't throw down.
Oh, yeah.
So that helped
There
for
was
some of those
a
steals.
lot of traffic in this game. The last 2 games, really.
Ton of traffic.
Even when the Red Sox weren't scoring runs on Saturday, which, by the way, I have a very funny story about Saturday when we're done with talking about Sunday and we're done talking about the series. But there was a lot of traffic even on Saturday, even when they didn't get the runs across the board. They still scored 8 runs, but there was men on base all weekend after Alex Verdugo decided to make an absolute jackass out of himself.
I was upset they didn't go for 10. We had guys on second who could have stole third. You knew they would have got it. Nice round number.
To
10.
honor the 10
Not
being
upset
back.
with
Yeah, that would have been nice. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, you said it. It's kind of like Usain Bolt used to break his own record by like 0.1 second, knowing he could run faster. So the next time he ran, he could also break another record. We got more games against the Yanks. This was just the first series. You know what I mean? Trevino's going to be back there. His arm's not going to get better. Might get worse. So we could get that 10, no problem.
Yeah.
Very funny. I mean, I immediately just thought of the Carl Crawford game.
Yeah.
The Carl Crawford game where he had poor
5
tech.
bags.
Just couldn't do anything about it.
5 bags.
And this was like double that.
Yeah. Also, I'm getting a little concerned about Ceddanne Rafaela.
He's
3
a little
hits
too
in this
good.
game.
Yeah.
He's hitting 238 now, which is like, I don't know how bad he would have to be to get back to 212, but like he's getting a little ballsy.
What I would say though is check that by 7 a.m. tomorrow, because that's typically when they update the stats and send them back to 208. So
yep. I thought it was 212.
They said he was like,
it's either 208 or 212. They jump between the two to make it seem like it's changing. But those points, Coley mentioned it, those are going to Valdez. So he's going to lose 30.
Yeah.
Valdez is going to get 30.
Okay.
Just something to keep an eye on. I got the heads up, so I want to let you guys know.
Yeah. I do.
I think they said during the broadcast he's like 9 of his last 14, which is outrageous.
Yeah, 3 for 4 the last 2 nights. Yeah, it's one of the weirder months. I put the stat out on my Twitter earlier today. Like, he was hitting 300, I think, in the month of June alone. But like, the OBP obviously is just not very high, and he hasn't really been hitting for much power either. But he's dishing these singles just left and right. Like, and the BABIP's through the roof. It's not super sustainable, but credit to him. He's putting the bat on the ball, and good things are happening. They want him to put the ball in play. At least he's doing that.
Yeah. Thank you for calling it Twitter, by the way. I'll never call it X. Like,
anyone
Twitter
that
is
says
such
X
an
is a moron.
established brand, and it's like, that's like if McDonald's just like rebranded to like fucking Dildo Burgers.
The next generation will call it X. That's when we're gonna have a problem.
Oh, it won't be there for another generation. Dunkin' Donuts tried that shit. I love Dunkin' Donuts. They
try to just go
if
Dunkin'.
you go to one, It's just Duncan now, like on everything,
no, it's
and
Duncan.
no one with a soul calls it that. His hard hit percentage, T-Dog, is up. It's the highest, because Stats tweeted this out. It's the highest it's been any month. 33%.
Hello,
April,
welcome to Dildo
35%.
What can I get for you? Welcome to Dildo Burgers.
Is Grimace still there?
Hi, can I have a large dildo shake? 2 small dildo fries.
Your dildo sucks.
Can I get extra dildo sauce, please?
Hey, yeah, instead of fries, can I get the cock rings? Extra salty, please.
It's the weirdest rebrand ever. Why did they do it? We still don't know why they did it. It was McDonald's. Everyone knew it, and then they just changed.
Everyone knows McDonald's. Like, that's a powerful brand. Crying.
I love the close-up mic thing we'll always give him. Welcome to Dildo.
Yeah.
You guys want anything from DBs?
Oh, shit, you're going to DBs?
Yeah, what do you want?
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Red Sox win 8-4.
Red Sox win this one 9-3.
Can I get the anal bead supreme? Missed lunch, so I'm pretty hungry. Definitely make that the supreme.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did you say the butt plug nuggets?
No. The beads. They always fucking do this. The anal bead. The number 6.
A 6-piece?
The 8? Do you have the 8?
This guy can't hear anything. Are you there?
Yeah, this is why I order through the fucking DB app.
This guy sucks.
You fucking people.
Do you guys get any of that?
You there?
Drive out, please.
We got it.
Yeah, you got it.
I think there's one thing left to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenley tried to put himself in like the 4th inning. No, I know. It's Casas. Casas won this game. Cut a full promo for Duran to win every award. He was like, this is the best player in the league.
Named every stat on top of it. It wasn't just like, hey, he's playing great ball. He's like, I'm going to give you the entire baseball savant page right now.
And he did it twice this weekend, right? He ripped those stats off for multiple mic'd up segments, I think. Tyler, didn't you have the clip from Nesson?
Yeah.
So he did it twice
I'm
this
in
week.
coach pitch, and I'm so young. I don't really know what's going on at this point still. I'm still just playing baseball just to burn calories and get out there and get some sun. Right. And, I get out one day and I come back to the dugout crying, pissed. And, that's what a 6-year-old does. He sits on the bench and he cries and he doesn't want to go out there when, his team's playing defense. So my dad, being the dad that he is, trying to teach me the lessons that he did in his own special way, came into the dugout. He actually grabbed me by my shirt, dragged me to the line, and Looney Tunes style kicked me out onto the field. And actually had one of my best friends that I went to high school with later. He ended up playing pro ball. His mom actually called child services on my dad, had him arrested at the field. No, for real. This is no joke. At the field, I see my dad go away in the cop car, gets arrested, sent to nice to jail.
You're
But
kidding.
that day, my dad taught me a super valuable lesson that not a lot of people know, and it's that I had a responsibility to my teammates. I had a responsibility to my coaches, to the parents that showed up that day, all the fans who were at that Little League game, whatever it may be. to go out there and give my best effort, no matter how I was feeling on the bench, no matter what I was going through that day, or whatever little hardship that I was feeling when I got out, that I still apply every single time. Because sometimes I just want to sit down on this bench after I get out, and I want to weep and I want to cry, but that's not how baseball is. So yeah, I love my dad to death. I wouldn't have this opportunity without him. But yeah, funny little excerpt. That's the type of guy my dad is.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to have been on like taking edibles, right? No,
I don't think he'd be talking that fast. He'd be a lot more slowed down. He was yapping.
He was on something.
There's no way. Like
life.
He's on the injured list. Like he's gotta. There's no way that was like natty.
My favorite thing about this whole Casas, it was a routine basically, is when they show him the first time and he's in the dugout. He literally looks like he's about to do a stand-up set. Like no one has. Yeah. There's never been a time in baseball history they've tossed to the dugout and someone's standing there. All right, guys, how we doing tonight? Really happy you came out to Boston. Sold out crowd. This is great. And he just took it from there. There were like no questions asked.
They didn't ask him a question.
They didn't let him. He didn't let them ask a question. He just kept going. The dude had words for days.
Also, walking up to Dom Smith and making him talk after flying out, and Dom Smith is clearly like unhappy, and he's just like, "Dom, like, what do you got to say?" And he's just like, "Man, I don't know." That was hilarious.
Well, they when they pitched it, I'm like, "You guys shouldn't have said that because he's gonna do it. Like, he's gonna go ask the guy that just flew out, how was that? Like, because that I think it was Ravitch or somebody was like, you should go talk to him. It's like, no, he's not gonna take that as a joke. He's actually gonna go do that.
Right. Yeah, and I was probably about like, I don't know, 90 seconds, 2 minutes into it, where it occurred to me, I was like, wait a second, they didn't even ask him a question. And he's still going, and there's no signs of him slowing down. Like whatever he's saying, we're not even at the middle part yet. And they've yet to ask a question. They had to know like his personality, and they probably see he's doing mic'd up stuff with Nesson. So they were like, all right, he's on the injured list, so this would be a perfect opportunity to get him a stick mic in the dugout. I don't think that they were expecting that. No one was expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. Like that's a Tristan Casas that none of us have ever seen before. We don't get that on Nesson. Like he's very like chatty, and he's introspective, and he can analyze himself and other people. Yeah, like he's a good chat. He's a good conversation. This was like, you gave me a stick mic, and he thought that he was doing like the cold open to like the Tonight Show, basically.
He was like hosting SNL basically on Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was awesome.
Yeah, he commandeered. Like, I was upset when they were showing the game because there were a couple of times they went full screen on Casas. We were beating the shit out of the Yankees at that point. I was just like, keep it right here. The pesky thing where he chirped AC, he was like, you've seen enough. You knew that wasn't going around the pole. That was great. The Bello shit, like I talked about earlier, that was very funny. Fucking, what was it, Eduardo Perez? Like, dude, you see this guy's got the ball right now. You're over here, Dion Waiters. Like, I'll interpret this. Like, Casas wasn't going to do that. Did a terrible job interrupting there. You got to cut that guy's mic. When Casas has the rock like that, you just clear out. Just clear the fuck out. And also, happy Father's Day, Jared.
Thank you.
That's the worst Father's Day story of all time.
Okay,
like,
all right. He was trolling. I think he was
his
partially
dad must
trolling.
have been like, shut the fuck up, please.
When he saw where he was going, oh my God, this is the one where I'm in the cop car. Cut his mic. Cut this right now.
Yeah. But Casas did say when he finished the story, he goes, "Hey, I might have bended the truth a little bit. I'm kind of talking here." So
I mean, his dad got arrested. There's no way his dad didn't get arrested, right? Like, his dad.
Maybe he just didn't spend the entire night in jail. Maybe it was more like the police were called and they had to leave the scene.
Slap on the wrist.
It is a funny Father's Day story. When my dad got arrested, let me tell the nation.
Terrible. And then ESPN. I usually don't show in the booth this much, but they come back from that. The inning ends. The next person you see is Aaron Boone. It's like, you got to push that. You can't have him, like, he's going to stink in comparison to that. And he did. He's just Aaron Boone. All he can do is stink. And that's exactly what happened. Him and Buster I think he asked him like one question. He's like, hey, your dad and brother played baseball. He was like, yep, that was it. That's all they had to say.
Yeah. This is like, you remember this, Steve. This is like at WrestleMania, when Randy Orton and Triple H had to follow Undertaker and Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. That was like one of the great. People call it the greatest wrestling match ever, not just like the greatest WrestleMania match.
I wouldn't go there,
but then, Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I would.
I would too.
Yeah. The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, greatest match of all time. And then Randy Orton and Triple H had to go on after, and everyone was like, nothing's going to top that. That was basically what we just saw tonight with Aaron Boone having a top. Tristan Casas.
I do know, I agree, Coley, they should have let Casas translate. At a certain point, like we've seen a lot of these, if someone's cooking, you got to let them cook. Like whatever plan you had.
No one has ever cooked like this before.
No one's ever cooked like this before. Whatever plan you had, throw it out. Like whatever script you had, obviously it doesn't play here. The one thing I will say is I was glad to get the translation of what Bello said, because it was hilarious. Kenley's in the clubhouse. Somebody shut this guy up. He is just yapping. So Bello coming out, and that's like the best Bello moment of the season. He's wearing Kenley's jersey on backwards, talking in Spanish. Jared, I saw your tweet of like, it's like a fever dream. I did need to like check in of like, is this happening? Am I seeing this happen right now? It's crazy.
It was great.
Also,
10-10, no notes.
Yeah, doubled down on the red seat as well. I'm happy he didn't let any of those people who fucking bitched about
Threw
that.
Gammons right under the bus. He was like, Gammons,
like, not to
Gammons
name
was
drop.
there.
Yeah.
Ricochet, baby.
Just saying he wants to hit a homer off the scoreboard. You know, I'm like, everything he said was awesome.
And it all goes back to that 2018 interview that we did in Section 10, where it was like, it was his first interview that he did after getting drafted, and he just started saying these outrageous things. And me and Steve looked at each other. For anyone that didn't listen to Section 10 back then, we looked at each other with the same, like, we didn't say anything, but I knew what his look meant, and he knew what my look meant. And it meant, this isn't really him.
No.
Like, someone's fucking with us. Someone, like, gave us a number, and, like, we just got pranked, basically. We weren't even going to put the interview out because we were like, there's no way, like, those answers are so outrageous. There's no way that this is him. And then I went on the Yak, and we were talking about it with Big Cat. Big Cat was like, give me your phone. He takes my phone and he fucking FaceTimes Tristan Casas, and he answers, and he's like, oh, hey, what's up, dude? And then he shows me my phone. He's like, is this him? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, all right, cool. We were just making sure it was you. And he's like, all right, cool. And then he hung up and he gave me my phone back. And that's why we weren't even going to put the interview out.
Yeah.
Like we
were
put it out
convinced
because
that was
Big
not
Cat
going
FaceTimed him.
Yeah, hit the public. No chance.
Yeah, we were like, it would be wildly irresponsible of us to put this interview out, say it's Tristan Casas, and then not even really be sure if it was him. But it was.
It was very, like, I didn't get to do that interview because I was still halftime with the 10, but watching Big Cat force you to just, like, FaceTime him was the funniest part of that, because he was like, you can get an answer here. And you were just like, I don't want to. And so Big Cat just forced it upon you. That was great. Yeah, Casas, he's one of a kind. And I feel so bad for our friend Jay, who has become the face of the Tristan Casas haters because he sent out exactly one tweet. And now anytime Casas does anything, Red Sox fans just dive bomb.
Well, he's been doubling down.
Yeah, he's doubled down. I felt bad the first time. I don't feel bad anymore. Now he's just like responding underneath. He's like, and so I'm still the weird one for thinking Tristan Casas is, weird amongst his teammates or maybe annoying as a teammate or whatever. But this is proof of what he's going to be. He's going to be the face of this team, and he's going to be the voice of this team moving forward. Even if he doesn't turn out to be quite the hitter Devers is, which I think he can be. But that personality, that kind of vocal leader, we know he's already been mentoring the big three over the offseason at the rookie development program. I'd love to see him and Marcelo chopping it up and all those guys together. But he is going to be the main voice for them.
I think there's going to be guys in the Sox and probably veterans that do think he's weird. And it doesn't really matter. Like, and
he doesn't give a fuck.
He doesn't give a fuck. But also, I think it's okay to think Tristan's different. I don't want to throw weird. It implies negative. He is very different. What we just saw in the dugout tonight, no one in the history of baseball will do that again, has done that. He's the only one that would do what he just did on Sunday Night Baseball. And that's what makes him great. He's the most unique guy you could ever ask for. And obviously, he could be the best player on your team soon.
What was great about tonight, because Yankee fans fucking hated that, which I get. That was that, like, they turn on Sunday Night Baseball and it's a Yankees home broadcast. All 9 innings, they were like, well, Aaron Judge really, like, nailed that throw. Like, they were giving him credit for shit that wasn't even happening in the real world. It was driving me insane. And then Yankee fans were starting to chirp at me a little bit, so I had to bury them as I'm one to do. And it was like, yeah, I missed this part of it, like the back and forth and the shitting on these people who really have only known pain this whole millennium. So that's been that was an enjoyable part of tonight. Taking 2 out of 3 from a team who, if you look at what the Yankees have done this year, they haven't beaten anybody that's mattered. Like anybody.
The last thing I want to add real quick on Casas is the most accurate line he said the whole time. He knew the assignment. When they're like, oh, you're talking to us, like, you give me a half inning, I got material. He had a lot of material, and that half inning actually had a little bit of length to it. Sometimes it's boom, 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 it's over. He's like, I'm going to rip off Duran's stats. I'm going to go interview Dom Smith. I'm going to talk about my dad getting arrested. He hit all the notes. It was great.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. We may never see something like that again.
I don't think we will, and that's why I'm glad we all experienced that, because I don't think that's ever happening again.
I hope they might come up for the ALCS. Like, that would be... Yeah. That'd be the right move.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one thing we didn't talk about last episode, people were getting real mad at him. He picked the Mavs in 4 in one of those social videos they do. Very clearly trolling. Like, the most obvious, like, he doesn't know a single fucking player on either team, obviously. And he was just like, oh yeah, I've got the Mavs in 4, the others just don't got it. Like, he went so over the top. It reminded me of Strider last year when he was like, I hate the fans. I hate when fans are at the game. Like, clearly trolling, and people like, you got to get this guy out of here. You got to get him. He can't play for the Sox if he doesn't rep the C's.
Yeah.
Guy blows.
Gotta love the C's.
Yeah, this is a guy in Tristan Casas, by the way, who's told you, I want to be a Red Sox forever. Hopefully we can work something out. I love playing in this city. My dream is to be the cleanup hitter for the Boston Red Sox. Like, you're fucking upset over a trolling video. That is the disconnect between young and old people. Like, they don't get the trolling internet.
Oh, these were young.
He's got to go.
That's the difference between stupid people and smart people.
I felt like young people, for the most part, were freaking out.
Yeah.
I thought young people were like, oh, it's Casas being Casas. Old people were like, fuck this guy. Back in my day, we would have fucking ran him out this city for saying something like that. Like, nobody gives a fuck like that. He's not even from here. Like, who gives a fuck what basketball team he roots for? I could give a damn.
I kind of like how much the olds hate him. I gotta be honest.
It's the best part. It's the best part.
It's fun to see. Get along. Look at his name. We're still on the nails. If we're still on the nails like this far in.
Didn't Sadan do his nails?
Maybe.
I think someone else has recently.
Yeah, I think I saw it. Someone else in the dugout had their nails. I'm pretty sure it was Sadan. I can't remember exactly.
I think you're right.
But someone else also did their nails. Yeah. So, whole team's going to end up doing it once he gets back.
I'll paint my nails. Who cares? Let's do it.
Yeah, me too.
Duran would go crazy with painting nails.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Duran.
I don't know. Someone did it.
Might have been Duran.
Could have been.
You mean like he
it's very
hot,
crazy.
You mean like he'd be hot? Would you be like
like I'd pipe? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Go.
That. Tyler just ragdolling Jaren Duran. It's very funny anytime people are like, oh, will this eccentric character work on the Red Sox? Like, we didn't have fucking Manny Ramirez.
The biggest goof ever, yeah.
Like, it's Manny, Pedro, and Ortiz were in the same locker room.
Kevin Millar.
Great. Kevin Millar, yeah, we had weird whites, too.
Bunch of goofballs. Yep. All right.
Sox win.
Durand, Yanks port. Massa running like a horse. Raffy, we endorse. Steele, Trevino tears. Zach Kelly, the Yankees fear. Playoff Sox, it's clear. A series of Taikus by Tyler Milliken. I forgot Yoshida played. Can I put my hand up? Jared, I need you to suspend me.
For what?
The first haiku was a remix. It was a fuck up while I was at the concert and I had to remix it. And I want to take accountability for it.
What happened at this concert? Did you go live or
Yeah,
something?
there was a lot
he
of weird
did.
shit going on. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
Got his hammered.
I had a
Beating
few
alcohol.
drinks, but Martha
Blue
had
Moons.
her phone. Yes, of course, Blue Moons. Martha had her phone set up for me so I could watch the game, and then I wanted my phone so I could tweet. And it was also in case we had tied in the 8th, so that I could watch the game and possibly join if need be. At some point, I guess I started the live. I didn't notice it because I was looking at the MLB app as well. And apparently people heard the concert. I don't know, but I appreciate the people who tuned in. There were a lot of people in there. And shout out Grace. I met Grace at the concert.
Yeah, I saw that. That was cool.
Very
I
nice.
met her at the Bananas. I'm not gonna suspend you because you were prepared for tie in the 8th just on a whim. Like you were ready to go. So for that,
Of negativity being prepared for the Sox to blow a lead.
You always got to be ready. You never know.
always gotta be ready. Yeah. So I appreciate that effort for sure.
It was very concerning. The Wi-Fi at that fucking place blows.
Yeah. So the funny story that I don't know how funny it's gonna be, but
Great way to start a story.
My girlfriend, she has 2 daughters, and so Saturday I was at the oldest dance recital, and it is 42 fucking songs, 42 of them. So I get there, she's song number 13. So I've just got to eat 2.5 hours of dance recital watching the fucking Sox on my phone, and I got the earpiece in, and so I'm like half trying to make it seem like I'm paying attention to what's going on the stage. But after her daughter is done with her dance, I know that she only has one dance in the whole recital, so I don't give a fuck about these other dances. So I'm zoning out. I'm just fucking sitting there watching the Sox in my lap, my head's down, and then like the song ends, people are clapping, and then the sound comes down into everything's just hush, 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 quiet. And then the stage, the curtains open, my head's still down watching the Sox. Then all of a sudden, this song starts playing.
Shut up!
What?
I just walked out on the stage,
and my fucking the way that my head shot up, and I was
Tyler
like,
was at this thing.
"Is Tyler about to come out on stage right now? Is he about to start just like doing ballet out here with his nipples out, reading haikus?"
It would have been beautiful.
I started cackling. Like people were like looking at me like they're 12, dude. Like give them a break. And I'm like, I'm not laughing at their dancing. Like don't look at me like that. Like that's not why I'm laughing. I can't possibly begin to explain to you why I'm laughing. You wouldn't understand. But just know, in this moment right now, this is fucking hilarious.
It does suck though when something's so funny, but it's only to you. Like
it's only funny to me.
Yeah.
No, like I'm looking around for Steve. Like, are you fucking believing this? No, I was the only one that thought it was funny. I was there by my damn self in that hilarious moment. No one else could have possibly enjoyed it with me. For what I understand, it's probably not on video. I'm gonna have to ask. I'm gonna have to ask, did you fucking tape this thing? Because no one's gonna believe me that you just choreographed a dance to the haiku music.
Was it a good
They have
dance?
the wide shot of everybody, and just one guy is just dying laughing. Everyone's
Just
like,
like,
"What the hell? What the hell's up with that guy?" It's a very serious moment right now.
Yeah, these girls put their whole fucking life's work into this performance. This guy's dying laughing over here.
This guy sucks.
Yeah, I swear to God. Straight up haiku music, choreographed dance. What a moment. What a moment. Makes me think of Game Time, honestly.
Obviously.
Yeah. Because I did have to buy tickets to the recital. It was at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium, which Steve, you probably remember.
Yep.
That's the same building.
Is that Ashanti?
Where Shawn Michaels lost his smile. Very famous wrestling promo from the 90s where Shawn Michaels lost his smile. It's something that's referenced all the time in wrestling lexicon. Happened in that building. So I'm sitting there fucking eating my my Junior Mints.
Your dildo burgers.
My dildo burgers.
XLDB.
Yep. My
butt plug nuggets.
And I'm just like, man, this is the haiku song. I got Junior Mints that I'm eating. And I'm just picturing Tyler Milliken up there just doing it.
Put me
his
on
best
stage,
life.
baby. Please.
Yeah. But in the same building that Shawn Michaels lost his smile.
Yep.
The same building that Cody Rhodes won the Ring of Honor title and ended up going to the hospital after with Bob Fox. Same building. Same building. So much history. Cody Rhodes, Shawn Michaels, Tyler Milliken.
Is it time?
No, it's time to talk about Game Time. It's an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer that it gets the first pitch with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Me and Steve almost went to the game on Friday, but we were looking at the forecast, the weather look ahead, and obviously if we're going to go to the game, we want to get there early. We want to go to BP, and it was a thunderstorm. It was like, boom.
It was crazy.
It was pouring rain. Yeah, it was a big-time thunderstorm, so we ended up going. I got very drunk on Friday. Like, I didn't think that it was like my one of 2 or 3 times a year that I get like drunk. And it snuck up on me. I went to Joe's on Newberry, and the waiter, I feel like an asshole. I don't remember his name. But huge fan of the show. He had excellent takes, by the way. He would like come up, pour the water, give me a take, leave for like 20 minutes, come back, take our order, give me another Red Sox take, leave, come back, bring us our dinner, come back. Like, he had spectacular takes, by the way. And he met Marcelo Meyer. He waited on Marcelo Meyer, and he was telling me the story about how he met him and how nice he was, and left him a great tip. I was like, great tipper. That's a great thing. So that was my Friday instead of going to the game. Good thing though, because they lost. Wouldn't want to see that. I want to see the Sox lose, but you can see the Sox win, and you can use Game Time to do it. Save up to 60% off buying last minutes for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Save even more with exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of the game or the event. Save even more when you choose a section. You let Game Time choose the seats for you. They've got all-in pricing. If you toggle that feature, it shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy the tickets. The lowest price guarantee. Your Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. The Game Time ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry today. And you can take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app right now. Create an account. Use the promo code SECTION10, and that'll get you $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Use the promo code SECTION10. That is SECTION10 for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
It is very funny they moved up that start time, and then immediately got pushed back to even later than the original start time.
They moved it up a couple days before. It's like they have the best weather system ever. Dave Meller and those guys. I feel like they could have probably seen a delay was likely. But Friday, everything sucked about Friday, so it's whatever. Just a wash. Outside of Jared getting drunk and meeting a listener.
Hammered.
Yeah, dude, I was fucking drunk. Woo!
Constanza Series MVP.
The Clark's Ketchup Series MVP brought to you by Clark's Ketchup. Drizzle that ketchup back to back. We went like a month. The ketchup guppies are out. They are floating around. They're angry. They're mean. But when they're pissed off, that means that they're happy. When the more pissed they look, the happier they are. That's just a ketchup guppy thing. I don't know. It's nature, I guess. But the Clark's Ketchup Series MVP vote last time came down to a 5v5 with Will Fleming presenting the final vote. This time, however, Lou Merlone did not escape. He is in the voice submission with Will Fleming. So I don't know how this vote's going to go. I don't know how the vote's going to go. We're going to tally the votes. We have them all. We got Kevin Youkilis this time. He was on a flight last time, so we missed him. But we have all the votes, and we have our voting panel that is here with us right now today in-house. So without further ado. Steve Peralt, first vote.
Yeah, I'm going to make this short and sweet. I normally don't pick a guy that didn't play in the series, but we just talked about him. It's Tristan Casas. I loved everything about what he did in the dugout. I've never seen anything like that during a baseball broadcast in my entire life, and we may never see it again. Tristan, gotta get you back here soon, but even though you're out, I got you as my Clark's Ketchup Series MVP.
Tyler Milliken.
I'm going to do something I usually don't do either. I usually don't hold one true moment, and credit to Zach Kelly, he also pitched on Friday and, gave you a couple strong innings there. But that moment, I think, was the moment of the season so far. Being able to come in with the bases loaded, somehow escape, get 2 strikeouts, being down 3-0 in the count as well. This is a guy in Zach Kelly who tends to walk the earth. Instead, he finds a way to make it out of there. Amped coming off the mound, and of course the Red Sox break the game open after that. It just felt like one of those moments. Even no matter how things happen over the next couple months, we'll remember this Zach Kelly moment. It's to him.
Good vote. Jake?
It's got to be Zach Kelly. I mean, he saved the series and maybe turned the season around in like 3 minutes. It was unbelievable. Give it to Zach Kelly.
That's 2 votes, Zach Kelly. 1 vote, Tristan Casas. Coley, your turn.
When you take 2 out of 3, any game that hung in the balance that was questionable to lose, doesn't matter if you pitched 1 pitch, 1 inning, full complete 9, you are absolutely on the table for catch-up. I had a lot of people tweeting me saying, oh, he's going to pick Trevino because he sucks and he's retired. I don't like that people think I'm some sort of joke here on this panel. I'm right on this panel. Every time, and that's why it's obviously Zach Kelly. Zach Kelly always had this catch-up. The second he came into that game, if he doesn't do what he did, we're not here talking about catch-up. Zach Kelly, you get the catch-up.
That's 3 votes, Zach Kelly. 1 vote, Tristan Casas. Steve, I feel like we've been on the same page a lot when it comes to the catch-up voting. That trend's going to continue because if I'm looking for one moment that changed a lot of things for me, once Tristan Casas started talking, and once I saw the internet explode, I'm a big vibes guy. You're talking to someone that was pissed off after the Red Sox won 2 out of 3 against the Phillies because the vibes just weren't there. They didn't, it wasn't doing it for me. This series did it for me. And a tremendous catch-up packet to Zach Kelly. I don't want to undermine anything that he did in this game. You probably don't win that game without him. But that being said, the moment of the night, the moment of the game, the moment of the series, was the performance put on by none other than Tristan Casas. My vote goes to Tristan Casas. That is 3 votes, Zach Kelly. That is 2 votes, Tristan Casas. To the panel we go. This was an early submission. Will Middlebrooks texted me in like the 7th inning. OB goes Ceddanne Rafaela. That's 2 votes Casas, 2 votes Rafaela, 3 votes Zach Kelly, 1 vote Rafael Devers. The next vote comes in from none other than Tom Caron. What podcast is that, Tyler?
A podcast.
310 to left.
Thank you for saying it.
TC says, Rafaela, all the hits. Zach Kelly gets the performance of the weekend and a ketchup packet. But Rafaela did too much for 2 nights. Drizzle it. That is 3 votes Rafaela, 3 votes Zach Kelly, 2 votes Casas, 1 vote Devers. Next up, Kevin Youkilis.
He's alive.
Jarren Duran. Jarren Duran for Kevin Youkilis. That is 3 votes Zach Kelly, 3 votes Ceddanne Rafaela, 2 votes Tristan Casas, 1 vote Rafael Devers, 1 vote Jarren Duran. It comes down to this again. I don't know how the fuck these guys do it. But
People are gonna think this is staged.
every
so not
fucking
staged,
episode.
but it happens.
I mean, it's staged to the point where we always do the voice submission last. But the fact that they will get to pick who fucking wins again.
Maybe.
I have a concern.
Maybe.
Whether if they
maybe.
both pick each of the tie, and then we just have a straight tie across the boards.
That's why I said maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
co-MVPs.
one of them could pick.
I could see Lou picking Cora for the base stealing strategy. Like, I could definitely see us coming out of this with a tie on the
Bell
other
does
end.
This
pinch
could
hit
end up like,
game 2.
what if one of them picks Duran and one of them picks Casas? Then we have 3 players with 3. We can have a 3-way tie. Then what the fuck happens? We need to.
I don't know if they'll pick Casas because they weren't watching.
Yeah, that's true. But they probably saw it on social. They took a while to send the response.
Sure.
So maybe.
Well, it's going to be 30 minutes long. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the ruling is if there's like a 2-way tie or a 3-way tie. I don't know.
Call someone.
I don't know.
Let's
I feel like
hear it.
Let's hear it. Yeah, let's not
try
jump
and
to
fix-
conclusions.
yeah, let's not try and fix something that might not need fixing.
All right. Here it is. Once again, deciding it all. Will Fleming with Lou Merlone.
Holy fuck. What's up, fellas? Somehow, some way, the Boston Red Sox have just taken 2 of 3 from the New York Yankees after taking 2 of 3 from the Philadelphia Phillies. And I'll tell you what, we're going to drizzle some motherfucking ketchup here tonight. That is the most fun we've had at Fenway Park really since the 2021 run. And we're going to have some fun right now because he didn't duck me. He didn't bolt this time. Loomer is here.
Damn skippy I am.
Yeah.
What a night. What a weekend. What a homestand. I would have taken 3 and 3. You go 4 and 2 against these boys. Tonight was fucking blast here at Fenway Park.
It was. And, you know, we're going to give out a lot of packets. We're going to pick our MVP. You know, Lou, the thing I can't get over, I find myself saying this more and more now, is that these wins are not isolated in this season. It is young players who are continuing to develop and grow. And now you add Hamilton, Valdez to Duran and Connor Wong, who's having an all-star type season himself. It's remarkable what these young players are doing.
I'm trying to, every week it's like, when they win a series, like, which young guy do I give it to, right? I'm going to give out packets everywhere. I'm going to start with Kenley Jansen. Last night was fantastic. Yep. I got to throw a packet to Zach Kelly because that was like he just literally dragged his balls across the foul line after the end of that inning. That was fantastic. I'm going to go packet to Cedar Rafaela, who now actually is tearing things up here in the month of June. I'm going to go packet to Connor Wong.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Needs to be said.
But Will, my MVP is the man that starts everything. He gets it all going. It's angry fucking lizard, Sharon Durant.
Oh,
He is unbelievable. And he's able to set the tone over and over again. The Red Sox set this club record with 9 stolen bases tonight, and Durant right in the middle of all of it. I agree with everything you said, but this game, this series is not won without a guy who had the biggest stones of any relief pitcher in several years. The Clark's Ketchup Series MVP
This is wild.
Zach motherfucking Kelly.
I love it.
Wow.
Give it to a pitcher once in a while.
These dumb hitters. Lou off to Toronto. That was as fun as you can have it at Fenway.
Now let's go sweep the Jays' ass.
See you, boys.
Zach Kelly is your Clark's Ketchup Series MVP. Holy shit.
Wow.
Once again, comes down to Will Fleming, and he calls it nothing but net. He's the only one with 4 votes. That might be our most spread out vote of the year, and it always comes down to Will Fleming, who just fucking crowns Zach Kelly with the Clark's Ketchup Series MVP. Congratulations to Zach Kelly, because that just doesn't happen.
That
crazy. Just doesn't happen. You very rarely are you going to get a reliever to win that's not a closer that only pitched 1 inning.
And he follows the 10. Follows the 10, Zach Kelly.
He follows the 10. So he knows what the Clark's Ketchup Series MVP is all about. So congratulations to Zach Kelly on the ketchup.
You said it last week. Will just declares the winner, but he's right every time. Like, he has an insane mental wavelength with us where he just knows, like, this will be the swaying vote. No matter what these idiots talk about, I know this will sway the vote.
Yeah.
Me and Will, I think, have had the same pick every single time. Even down to the weird Andrew Bailey one.
It's not bad.
He gets me.
You guys gonna kiss?
I would.
Yeah, you guys. Well, he likes Jake more than you, I think.
Whoa. Well, some would say me and Jake look alike. Coley, that was so mean. You did not have to say that. Jake, cut that out. Cut that out. Please cut that out. Steve, you like me, right?
Well, yeah, you're great, Tyler, but you guys don't look alike. What are you talking about?
Nah, I've heard that. Some people have told me that.
You're both white. I mean, like, what?
Like, I'm a more like, if Jake had gone through some hard times in life and some things had gone very poorly, like, this is what it would look like.
Yeah, like if Jake started sniffing glue and fucking yeah. Jake's handsome.
And eating the glue.
Yeah, eating glue, yeah.
Cut this all out, Jake.
Yeah.
Please.
It's all staying in.
That's staying in.
It's all staying in. Yeah.
Okay, twin.
The Stop and Shop look ahead, brought to you by Stop and Shop. Head on down to Stop and Shop right now, and if you use the promo code Section 10, you can get 10 cents off each tangerine when you buy at least 5 pounds of tangerines only at Stop and Shop using the promo code Section 10. We're just going to go through this quick because it's 1:15, and we have to be up in a few hours to do Baseball is Dead because I have to get on a flight to Arizona doing the MLB Combine for MLB Network on Tuesday. I'm going to be on all day doing interviews with a bunch of the guys that are going to be going in the first round. Very excited for that. But got to get Baseball is Dead in tomorrow morning before I catch a cross-country flight. Nick Pivetta, it's the Toronto Blue Jays, by the way. Red Sox are off on Monday, so enjoy your off day. Nick Pivetta versus Yusei Kikuchi, Tanner Houck versus Chris Bassett, and Brian Bello versus Kevin Gausman. Yusei Kikuchi... What?
They're not off. They play Monday.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. Game 1's Monday.
Oh, no.
I say Kikucho.
Wow.
I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
To be fair to Jared, it does feel like tomorrow should be an
triple
off day.
checked because I thought tomorrow was an off day. I was like, no, and the schedule kept saying it's not. But I'm like, I swear you are.
Yeah.
It's just not.
I checked it earlier, couldn't believe it
Yeah.
myself.
Arriving in
Couldn't
Toronto
It's the most
probably what?
off
the
day
Yankees
feels
have
on
an off
Monday,
day.
but it's just not. Yeah.
A lot of the league has an off day tomorrow, not the
Next
Sox.
2 Thursdays off for the Sox.
I don't know
Okay,
why I thought it was an off
unnecessary.
day. Just felt like the most off day.
No,
Feels like
you're
an
not
off
wrong
day.
in the feel. It's got the off
Yeah.
day feel.
Yeah.
I wanted to enjoy this a little bit longer.
Yusei Kikuchi, 5-4, 3.26 ERA, 123 WHIP, and 8.8 strikeouts per 9. From his last start in April to his first start in June, the Blue Jays have lost 7 straight starts of his. He's got a 4.66 ERA. His 2 starts since 11 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned run, so he's been better as of late. Blue Jays have won 2 straight starts behind Kikuchi. Chris Bassett really struggled his first 9 starts, 5.03 ERA, 7 home runs allowed. His 5 starts since then, a 1.20 ERA, no home runs allowed. It's not a great time to be facing Chris Bassett. He has 4 starts all year with 7+ strikeouts, and 3 have come in his last 4 starts. The Blue Jays are 6-8 when he starts on the year, and they've lost 2 straight though, so we got that going for us. Kevin Gausman, 5-5, a 4.08 ERA, a 127 WHIP, and a 9 strikeouts per 9. Gausman led the American League with an 11.5 strikeouts per 9 last year. That number has dropped to 9 this year, his lowest since 2018. Bad time to be facing Gausman though, because he's found it. His last 2 games, 14 and a third innings, 13 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 16 strikeouts, only 1 home run, and 25 OPS. That includes a complete game shutout against the A's with 10 strikeouts. He has a 3.38 FIP this year, so his 4.08 ERA is a bit unlucky. His fastball has dipped about a mile an hour from last year, but it has yielded pretty bad results for him. 3.19 batting average, 5.74 slug. The Blue Jays are 7-7 when he pitches, and they've lost 2 out of 3. So that is Nick Pivetta versus Yusei Kikuchi. That is Tanner Houck versus Chris Bassett. That is Brian Bello versus Kevin Gausman. Prediction time, Steven.
The Jays are 8-7 in the month of June. They still haven't won a playoff game since 2016. They have a -31 run differential this year. The Red Sox are at +38 in run differential, 19th in team ERA, 21st in team OPS, 27th in the majors in homers. This team's really not that good. They underperform like you read about. That is the Toronto Blue Jays. I have the Red Sox winning 2 out of 3. Pivetta in Canada, he's got a 3.72 ERA in his home state of Canada at the Rogers Center in 7 appearances. Houck All-Star Game starter campaign, I think, might roll on in Game 2. And then who the hell knows from Brian Bello in the finale. Sox 2 out of 3.
Coley Mick.
Well, I alluded to it earlier. I am worried that they're playing a bad team after playing 2 really good teams. Let me see that focus. The Blue Jays are wildly unserious. Like Steve said, they haven't even won a playoff game this year. Red flag. I want to keep believing. It's fun coming into this show believing in this team.
Yeah.
There's no reason to talk about the offseason. There's no reason to talk about the trade deadline. We can just talk about the games that just happened and the ones in front of us. Take all 3. Don't make this a conversation. I'm going sweep.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. Interesting pick by Coley there. I like that. What about you, Jake? What are you feeling for this series?
To me, it feels like a Red Sox sweep. The boys are hot. Kenley boys are buzzing, like we talked about. Yeah, I think we're taking all three in Toronto.
Okay. Kenley boys are going to be fired up here in this podcast. They never get a shout out. So happy for the Kenley boys. A lot of love on this one.
Always up, never down. The Kenley boys.
Always up, never down. Yeah. Kenley boys.
Never down.
Never down. Don't know what it feels like. T-Dog, what do you got in this series?
I don't think I'm courageous enough to pick a sweep. I do feel like despite Justin Turner having a bad year, we are going to have that little bit of a moment where, we kind of link back up. I think there might be a Justin Turner moment there where something goes a little wrong. But despite Brian Bello not being the greatest pitcher during his time in Toronto or when he's been in Toronto, I believe it's a career 6 ERA overall, 28 strikeouts and 5 appearances. It just hasn't been great. But I'm going to bet down on Brian Bello. I think he's going to have his best start of the season.
Wow.
Against this very mediocre Blue Jays lineup that continues to disappoint. 675 OPS, 21st best offense in all of baseball right now. This feels like a prime spot for Bello to get his feet underneath him. That means Tanner Houck, who's dominated all year, is definitely going to keep it rolling. Could the Nick Pivetta start go a little sideways? Maybe the Houck one goes sideways once it goes to the bullpen, but give me 2 out of 3. I think the Red Sox are rolling, but I will say, if things go wrong here, you could flip spots with the Blue Jays in the standings. So this is a very big series for you.
I thought he was going to say, if things go wrong here, get ready to trade everybody because
it's a big series. You got to show up here. You don't show up, then a lot of this momentum's going to stop.
What you just said, that means they have to get swept to trade spots, right?
Yeah, they're 1.5 games between each other.
It's been the most positive show.
I didn't say something negative.
If they get swept?
It's 1.5 games.
2
All right, never mind. I was about to ask, has Tyler been suspended on this episode yet?
Oh, definitely.
Right?
He has. It's still that. Punch in the face, maybe, for that. That was insane.
That was a terrible way to end it for you. But.
It's just labeling the context that you need to show up.
Stop digging the hole. Stop digging the hole.
Spare me.
He's got a good closing thought coming.
Blue Jays are 18-16 at home. They've played better at home than on the road.
Yeah. All right. I am gonna go 2 out of 3 for the Boston Red Sox. Then they will lose the
finale.
Oh, fuck off.
They'll lose the Brian Bello game.
Bello's fault.
Yeah, well, obviously.
Obviously.
What's the weather going to look like in that domed stadium?
Weather look ahead is brought to you by Billy's Gummy Bears.
Chew them with your mouth.
Fun fact real quick, the Red Sox are one of only 4 Major League Baseball teams with multiple players from Canada. The other 3 teams are the Blue Jays, Guardians, and the Dodgers. Monday, first pitch, 7:07 Eastern, 77 degrees. Mostly sunny, 11 miles an hour, 7% chance of rain. Game 2 is Tuesday, also 7:07. You'll notice that they're all 7:07. 79 degrees. Yeah, for game 2. Partly cloudy, 10-mile-an-hour winds, 7% chance of rain. Game 3, finale Wednesday. Can we get some more afternoon finales, damn it? 7:07 p.m. finale, 79 degrees again in the finale. Mostly cloudy, 10-mile-an-hour winds, 15% chance of rain. And that will do it for your weather look ahead, which is brought to you by Billy's Gummy Bears. Chew them with your mouth.
Now that you're bringing up chance, I did want to say those are the weakest Yankees suck chants I've ever heard in my life at Fenway tonight.
It kind of felt like it was an obligation. Like, you can't leave this park unless you do Yankees suck. It's like,
Right. I appreciated the effort and the thought behind them, but that was
We've
depressing.
talked a lot about crowds. That Saturday crowd seemed pretty awesome.
Yes, it did. The Saturday seemed like the best
of the
crowd.
year.
Yeah. Friday sucked.
Yeah.
75%.
Yeah.
Fans. But whatever.
Well, good.
All right. Time for bed. Coley, final thoughts?
I feel like I did have one. Oh, Christian Campbell hits a home run every time he gets
I'll add on that note, Cutter Coffee. What the fuck, dude? This guy is going
5 games
absolutely
in a row?
bonkers. 6 games in a row, 7 total.
Jesus.
didn't play tonight, so the streak didn't get interrupted. Obviously, they don't play on Mondays, but 2022 second rounder seems like he's found that power stroke. Very good to see.
Steve, final thoughts?
Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick. I don't know when umps are going to realize if a ball ricochets up in the air off the monster, it's a home run. It's a home run. Just physics 101 talking about this.
A ball cannot bounce off a wall and go up.
It just can't. And they're always like, all right, we're going to look at it. It's like you're going to see the same thing that happens every time. It hits the ledge, it goes up, it's a home run. So just figure that out. That's it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for saying it. Jake's takes?
I just can't fucking wait for the ALCS, dude. I wish they were playing tomorrow.
Yeah. I wish game 1 was tomorrow. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Section10merch.com. We got more on the way, and we will be back with, I'm surely not a very tired, very disgruntled, very pissed off Jared on Wednesday. Hopefully the Red Sox win the series. That'll make it help. That'll help a lot. Sox win that series, I'll be very pumped up coming in. Because then what'll that put them? That'll be 3 games over?
Yep.
Yeah.
2 out of 3.
They win 2 out of 3. Yep.
3 over.
Hey, go Celtics.
When's the last time that happened?
It's been a while.
Oh, yeah, go Celtics. Congratulations, Jake and Coley.
That opening series, like that opening road stretch.
Yeah, been a long time. It's been a long time. All right, let's get there. Baby steps. Baby steps. This is big. The positivity's rolling. Today was a good day. Today was a good day to be a Red Sox fan. It's been a long time since we've been able to say that. Today was a good day for us. Let's cherish it. Let's cherish it. See you on Wednesday. Love you. Bye.
Buenas noches, amigos.